All right. What is up, YouTube? What is going on, fellow fantasy people? And of course, what is up, the catch fam? You guys already know what time it is, man. Week 14 fantasy Q&A. We've got Steven in the building. What is going on, my guy?
Had some chili for dinner tonight, so it's
Ooh.
not the Taco Bell run. It's no cheese sandwich run later. And like we were talking right before the episode, man, playoffs are on the horizon. Got
Week
playoffs
is
next
8.
week. You're in a little bit of a pickle with let's say a big pickle this season.
Bro, I got
Everything's
shot.
on the line this week for you.
Everything was on the line this past week.
Yeah.
Everything's on the line this week. That's the way I like it. That's the way it always is for me, man.
You always craft your well, actually, no, last year you did have, like, a stack squad, but tell you what, man, with these teams like yours is built, you could go on a path once you get into the playoffs, if you get in the playoffs. If
I'm
not
prepared for the playoffs. I just have to get there.
see, but that's an interesting dilemma because I was talking to you about Lamar Jackson and his schedule coming up, and then some of the defenses you're looking at, and you said you're looking at, like, week 16, week 17, like, you're gonna be there, but, like,
I'm going to be there.
I feel like you gotta start thinking about, are there other players
That's
that
why I
you
picked up Cam.
you did? So you got Lamar Jackson
That's why I'm getting
satisfied
the Chargers this week. I need them this week.
this week, okay. But what about some other guys, like an Osborne for the Vikings at the receiver
Why are you
role?
just trying to figure out all my waivers?
No, no,
You've
all I'm
already
saying is this.
sabotaged.
For me, that's a higher priority pickup than a
Who
defense for you
said? Who said
that's
that
gonna
the
play in weeks.
defense was my
But how
highest
many
priority
waivers
this
do you
week?
how many defenses do you waivers do you have in right now? Do you have, like, 26
I'm
waivers?
not telling you anything. I've already given you too much information.
Yeah, yeah. Just
So,
wait, you're gonna get kicked out by Bryce. That's how this whole thing's gonna go down. The
dude,
Corona Cowboys.
you know, I'm having nightmares. I can't sleep at night. All I see is Justin Tucker's face. He knew I dropped him. And he knew our fantasy matchup would come down to him.
Dude,
And I would have beat you by a point if I
that
started him.
was one of the craziest wins I've ever gotten in fantasy. I went to bed fully expecting a loss,
You
and
didn't even know till the next day, right?
I didn't know because I went to bed, I think a little bit after halftime. I was exhausted, and
Nerd.
that was right after Lamar had thrown, what, 3 picks on back-to-back possessions, and I was just like, "This is actually just kinda funny because I know John's sweating right now, so I'm gonna
And
go to bed because I know I'm gonna lose."
the only player he threw anything to was Mark Andrews, who you
Yeah.
had.
Yeah, yeah, and Mark Andrews was, like, balling out, dude, just
Yeah, he
going
had a great game.
crazy. I mean, but I tell you what, at a further note than that, Lamar Jackson, we were both talking about how we've been super disappointed in him as a fantasy player. Neither of us are looking at him as a player to draft next year or beyond,
You
just
know, he's
until.
still he's a top 8 quarterback right now.
But let's take out the past few weeks, which we're really looking at, and that's the difference. And then
I
you
don't
look
know
at
if
this guy's
he
numbers.
I don't know if he finishes as a top 10.
Yeah,
He
which
might
is
be out
which is
12 or
actually
higher.
crazy because of
Yeah.
that rushing upside. I mean,
He's ninth in the league in rushing.
he's not gonna finish as a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
wild.
nuts.
I mean, he
How many
might. I mean, he could turn it on. Like that's the thing with Lamar. That's the gamble, right? Like he's in a slump right now. Uh, but his ceiling is always going to be there.
Well, I'm just gonna pull up his schedule because I know we discussed it, but when you're looking at Lamar's schedule for the playoffs, if you're a team that's already in the playoffs, you were able to overcome Lamar Jackson, you have got over the next few weeks Cleveland this week, which last time he played Cleveland, he got under 10 points. That was grody. And then he got Green Bay, number 8 against the position, Cincinnati, number 9 against the position, and then the LA Rams to finish it off, number 7 against the position. That's a pretty brutal stretch.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, no,
It
I mean, what do you think? What would be your advice for someone that has him? Like, because would you say you have to go out and dual roster a quarterback, maybe a Taysom Hill, maybe a Cam Newton if he's out there, a guy who's
uh,
comparable in terms of the type of stats he's going to put up on that rushing upside?
yeah, yeah, I would. But
Yeah,
you might even have to look at it from a week to week thing. Like I don't like Cam past this week. I don't know if I
No.
like Taysom past this week. You kind of have to look at it from a week to week basis, which is not fun. It, dude, it's just such a hard decision because
Yeah.
his upside is still insane. Like you don't know when he's going to turn it back on. When he does, he might get you 30 fantasy points.
Yeah.
It
It's one of those things. I mean, you also look at Joe Burrow, who gets banged up in that game, obviously, but depending on game script, he's good and he's bad. So you look at some of these top 12, top 15 quarterbacks, and it's just the inconsistencies all over the place. Even guys like Aaron Rodgers, he has his bad games. But I think the thing with Lamar Jackson, which really
Herbert.
stands out, yeah, Herbert too. Herbert, what is he right now? Number 2 quarterback in all of fantasy football off this past run he's had over the month. But I mean, even the top 5, top 10 quarterbacks, they are just having these inconsistent games.
Yeah.
And with Lamar, for some reason, I think we're just giving him a harder time.
I think it's because we expect more out of him.
Yeah. Where do you think most people drafted this guy? 3rd, 4th round? Often? Maybe 5th, actually, this year.
He had to be what QB 3 or 4 off the board.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Yeah. Kyler and Allen and Mahomes, so probably QB 4.
Yeah. Hey, actually, you named a very specific guy I wanted to talk about here. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Holy crap, has he been disappointing this year? I mean, another horrible week. I still lost to him, right? But he was terrible. He only got 12 points in our half PPR league. I mean, what are you thinking about Patrick Mahomes for the rest of the season? What kind of guys would you put above him? Right now, he is, I guess, I got my stats up here. Number 6 he's sitting at right now in terms of the full season stats. But man, I don't know. I don't know about this guy.
If I own Patty Mahomes, I'm starting him.
But do you feel confident anymore on a weekly basis?
It's similar to Lamar Jackson, but it's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the ceiling is too high. Like I like him a lot versus the Raiders this week.
Yeah, because that was his only big game in the past 8 weeks.
Yeah, so I like him a lot this week versus the Raiders.
Listen to these stats. Playing the Denver Broncos this last week, 12 points. Then he had the bye week. Week before that, he had 7.5 against the Cowboys. Then he had that monster game that you're talking about, 36 against the Raiders. And then the 3 weeks before that, 10, 14, and 7. I mean, that's really bad. And he's got his upcoming play is the Raiders, which is juicy, like you were saying. But then he's got the Chargers, the Steelers, and the Bengals. I mean, not an amazing matchups ahead.
Here's a thing that is really important to look at this point in the season, right? With guys like Lamar Jackson, like Patrick Mahomes, right, who we know hold these really high ceilings, but have been really disappointing at times on the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you have to shift your mind out of fantasy and shift it into real life football because these game scripts are going to be really important. Teams like the Chiefs, who are competing with the Broncos, who are competing with the Chargers for the number 1 seed, or maybe not even the number 1 seed, but to win their division, right? Teams like the Ravens, who are competing with their entire division, right? It's still a competitive division, both these divisions, right? They are in positions now where they're going to do everything they can to win these last couple football games, right? Especially if they're divisional games, right? So I think you kind of have to not focus on the numbers so much and just kind of remember why you drafted these players and understand that they're playing situational football now and they're playing in the biggest games of the entire season, right?
Mm-hmm.
The playoffs are completely different, right? I mean, only one team gets a bye week. I mean, it's crazy now, right? So I think you just have to, like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely discouraging to a point. But think about, like, I think Justin Herbert's another good example of a guy who has these like 2 to 3 week slumps where he's putting up 12 to 15 fantasy points, and then out of nowhere he has a 3 weeks span where it's completely different, right? So that's what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look past the rankings and look past the stats which is what we never do.
Yeah, that's not what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, but I think at this point in the season, that's what you have to do, if that makes any sense.
Well, okay. So I want to talk. So we just talked about Mahomes. We just talked about Lamar. Kind of expressed our discouragement about it, our concern about it. But you might be kind of stuck in some situations with those guys and having to play them, right? Let's talk about a guy at the receiver position and a guy at the running back position who, over the past month, are also struggling, and where you kind of are at on them. The first guy at receiver that I want to talk about here, Jamar Chase, over the past month has been struggling, and we've seen T. Higgins blow up. And meanwhile, to kind of add on to that, you've seen the Bengals start to move their game script to a more Joe Mixon heavy approach, and they've done well with it. And now Joe Burrow's got the damaged hand. He looked like he was in a ton of pain in that Chargers game. What the hell's going on there? But you look at the numbers here for Jamar Chase over the past month. 7 points against the Chargers, 5 and 11 over the 2 weeks before that. Then he had the bye week, and then 5 points against the Browns and 11 against the Jets. He's just not getting it done like he was doing it before. A lot of that was because of the negative regression that was just coming his way, but I think there's some other factors that lay there too. So where are you at on him the rest of the season?
Listen, I think Jamar Chase has kind of hit that rookie wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of factors into a rookie season. It's a longer season than college, right? Defenses have small expectations for you initially, and then they see a guy like Jamar Chase and what he can do, and then they start to plan against him.
Mm-hmm.
So there's I think there's two things going on with Jamar Chase, right? Teams are figuring him out, and then also he's a rookie. Like, he's still learning, and he's still learning how to adapt to the NFL as well. So I'm not worried about Jamar Chase, in the grand scheme of things. I think he's going to be a top 10 receiver next year, probably the year after. I think that the talent is there. But I think it's okay to have concern for the rest of this season.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then the next guy, the last guy I want to talk about here before we jump into roll call, Zeke Elliott.
Yeah.
What's your gauge on this guy? Tony Pollard, his backup, looks a ton more explosive. Zeke Elliott's got that knee issue over the past few weeks. 5 against the Saints, very disappointing. And then what I was talking about is against the Raiders, who were 30th against the position. He had 13, but he got that goal line touchdown, and he looked really bad to me when I was watching that game. And that's when I initially got spooked about this guy. The week before that, he had under 10 against the Kansas City Chiefs. And all these stats, again, they're in half PPR format. But, man, Zeke does not look like Zeke that we drafted him at in the first round. And one of the best backs in football, the multi-million-dollar man, Jerry Jones's guy, he doesn't look like that. It's looking like this might be Tony Pollard. Maybe Tony Pollard's, team going forward. So I guess my question is, A, where do you see him at rest of the season? He's got the Washington football team twice and the Giants. And then where do you see him next year? Where is an appropriate place to draft him? And is he the Cowboys guy next year?
Yeah. Here's my take on Zeke right now, okay? Especially this year, it's become more evident than ever, especially in these longer seasons, that you need two guys at the running back position. Like, if you're fortunate enough to have two players at the running back position, then you're good to go, right? The Cowboys will make the playoffs, okay? They need to save some of that juice in Zeke's tank for the playoffs. Like, they need Zeke in the playoffs, right? They need Pollard as well. But if they can keep this 1-2 punch going, where Pollard can rip a big one and Zeke can still kind of take that ground and pound approach, right? It really benefits this team. So I think what we're seeing is Cowboys are realizing Zeke's a veteran now, man.
Yeah, he
is. It's not 2 years. It's not 3 years. Like, he's been in the league for a minute, as is Dak Prescott, right? And I think they're realizing he's a little banged up. He's got some wear and tear. We need to kind of limit this approach. And we've got this young guy who's completely different style of back. We need to kind of get him churning so he can build some confidence going in the playoffs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that this isn't Zeke Elliott's team. Like, this is your veteran running back. Like, this is one of the faces of the franchise. Like, I don't think the Cowboys personally are going to move on from Zeke. Maybe when this contract runs out, potentially. Would I be surprised if Jerry Jones does a Jerry Jones thing and tries to move this contract to a different team? Not necessarily. But I think the Cowboys realize that how much that would hurt this team as a
Yeah.
whole, because this guy is a leader in this locker room. He's your franchise quarterback's best friend. So I think that they will hold on to Zeke long term. And I think that they know how much it benefits this offense if they have Zeke going as well as Pollard going, right?
Mhm.
So I think right now we're kind of in the phase of the season where they know the likelihood of them making it into the playoffs is very high. Okay, don't get me wrong.
Got some big
Washington's hanging
games.
around. Yeah,
Yeah.
Philly's hanging around. Washington's more in the mix right now.
They're
But
right now in the wild card.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
wow,
absolutely.
sneaky
Yeah,
come up by the Washington football team, man. This
but
is a big
yeah,
game for that Dallas Washington football team.
right. So I think they understand that they're at a good point in the season. Yes, these are really big games coming up, but I think that they're just trying to limit Zeke a little bit. And it's not good from a fantasy perspective, but I do think with how long this season is, with only one team getting the playoff bye week, that it's a smart move for this
Mhm.
organization. Naturally, with that, a lot of rumors are going to come, right? But I think Zeke's fine. He's
Yeah.
a little banged up. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And I do think that he'll be a Dallas Cowboy next year. But man, Tony Pollard's one talented back.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I
not
think,
drafting Zeke in the first, I can tell you that right now.
okay, and to answer your second question, Zeke is the exact type of running back next year that a guy like me will want to draft. Get him in the second round, give him the third round, get him with like that David Montgomery value, that Josh
Yeah.
Jacobs value. Uh, I
He's
still,
but he's a value pick, right? If somebody
yeah,
doesn't jump up and grab him and take a bad value pick on him, I mean, if you can get him in the second or third, it makes sense, but I think my early disclaimer on a guy like Zeke, and we'll see how the offseason unfolds too, but, I'm not taking a shot on a guy like that in the first. I wanna see how
mhm.
this thing plays out, grab him in the second or the third.
It's kind of a sad transition, right? Guys like Saquon Barkley, CMC,
Yep.
Zeke Elliott. Now we're kind of seeing Aaron Jones a little banged up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these were like your top 4 picks 2 years
Yeah.
ago, you
Yeah.
know? It's kind of wild, man.
And
So,
who knows what I think this is the way to close too before we get into roll call, but you're talking about all these running backs going down. Another one that really does come to mind, and I'm hoping he comes back and gets healthy before the end of the season. But, I hinted at in the kicker video that Mike Zimmer might be on his way out, right? And I think this Vikings team in general, and I'm not trying to make too much out of this loss to the Lions team, right? But it does get to a bigger note that, like, over the past few years, this team has been wildly disappointing. Dalvin Cook has been their superstar player, and they are paying him a hefty sum. And what's going to happen, right? Dalvin Cook has had injuries out the bazoo every single year. Kirk Cousins has been an underperforming quarterback in the winning column, and then Mike Zimmer has just never gotten it done. I mean, I think there's going to be a big overhaul. I'm not sure where it
yeah.
starts, where it ends, but I mean, the running back position is increasingly expendable, especially when you got a guy like Alexander Madison in the backfield.
I think that's the other perfect player to put on that list of your top 5 running backs 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And who are kind of in a transitionary, is that a word? Point in their career, right? So, yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised if the Vikings do an overhaul. They ain't
Yeah.
getting rid of Justin Jefferson. He might be your wide receiver 1
No, hell
next
no,
year.
man. No.
Whew.
We give it about him feeling either.
No, no. All right, guys, let's hop into some roll call. Got a little podcast topic going there for about 20 minutes. So appreciate everyone coming out. Hope everyone's doing fantastic tonight. Hit that like button on the way in if you guys haven't done so already. If you're new and you're tuned in, make sure to hit that sub button down below. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Catch fam? How we doing, baby? Jeez Louise, what's up, guys? What's good? I have Keenan Allen think he'll play. He does technically have an opportunity to play. Yes.
Yeah, it's right. I think it's like right up until Sunday. They're
Yeah.
playing a afternoon game, so
He just has to test negative twice before
yeah.
then. So technically he can play. Do I think he'll play? I have no idea. Right.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult for us to say, but he is, from everything I've heard and seen, he is vaccinated. And therefore, if he tests negative twice within 48 hours before the game, he can play.
You sure he didn't get a card from Antonio Brown?
Like I said, from everything I've read and I've seen, he's vaccinated.
Bruce Arians said he hopes that the NFL goes into every team and tries to make sure they're not doing it too. So,
man, I don't want to get into another topic, but I don't know if AB is gonna
no,
play for the Bucks again.
Yeah, I don't know. I think We talked about it earlier about how Chris Godwin, he might be on the way out with AB being right there. But I think after that move, man, if I'm Chris Godwin, I feel pretty good about getting that contract
Yeah.
next season. And he's an upcoming major free agent. It's not just Devontae Adams, guys. And AB, he might be on his way out. I think he might go to the Baltimore Ravens next year to hang out with his cousin, Hollywood Brown and Lamar
Be
Jackson.
filthy, bro.
Yeah.
Kicks for Mike. What's going on, my dude? Holy, can we talk about Devontae Williams? Holy, if there is no Melvin Gordon. I never wish injury.
He's a beautiful man. That guy runs that ball.
But man, I Melvin Gordon just had to sit out a week to the last game of the season. I wouldn't be against it as a Devontae Williams owner. I talked about this watching him the preseason. Like, he is fast.
He's so good.
He is a very talented back, and I really hope he gets an opportunity to showcase why he should be the RB1. I love Melvin Gordon.
Like, he's good. There's no way you love him still, bro. You're so angry at him. No. You're so angry at him.
But I do like Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
I kind of miss his dribs, but
yeah, that was interesting. Kind of like Mike Williams too, cutting those, man. It's just sad.
Yeah.
Those were sick.
Devontae Williams, up and coming star, man.
Yeah.
And maybe the Broncos watch this last game and they say, Melvin, we could use you on third down, my dude. But
see, that's the thing. I think if Melvin Gordon plays, man, I think it's gonna go right back to the committee approach.
Yeah, it probably will. Yeah.
Maybe Javonte gets a little bit more of a workload, but I don't think the Broncos care about us fantasy owners, man.
No. You think John Elway cares about us?
No, definitely not.
Have you seen the quarterbacks he signed in the past 5 years?
Yeah, man. Trevor Siemian, he's getting it done right now. Brock Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, a couple of vets.
Michael Hayes here. Jeff Wilson. Looks like Mitch will be out this week. Kicks for Mike says it's too early to know. I think Mitchell plays. If he doesn't, I think it's Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess Mitchell was also having concussion symptoms today as well, which is problematic. Wilson's, not a healthy slate either. He's got some, I think it was knee issues or something like that.
That's right.
So,
jeez.
JaMychal Hasty, monitor this. I think if you are a team that needs a running back, I like getting JaMychal Hasty. They're going up against the Bengals. But either way, I just think getting a guy that could potentially be the workhorse for this 49ers team. I mean, Trey Sermon's out too, bro. He's not in there. So it could literally be him. But let's not forget about one other guy who's probably going to see the goal line touches. I would not be surprised. It's going to be Kyle Juszczyk. This fullback, man, this do-it-all guy, that's Kyle Shanahan's dude. Whenever things get a little hazy like this one, we saw it before this year, it's Juszczyk, and ain't nobody wants to roster them on his fantasy team. I mean, you don't roster somebody like him on your fantasy team.
I think Jerry has. Jerry, are you in here yet? In his personal league, things got pretty rough for him.
That's pretty intense, dude.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, Hasty might be the guy, Emily. Geez Louise, Henderson, Madison, Aaron Jones, James Conner, CH, Hunt, start 2 and flex 1 more. We are not benching James Conner for the rest of the season. I don't care what Steven says. Cannot bench this man. I'm just saying, if you were going to disagree, I don't care.
No.
I don't care. I will mute you. I can mute you. You can't mute me. I can mute you. Out of the rest of these players, man, could really just flip a coin, right? I got to get my brain going. We talked about this last night. It's always like the first 2 days moving into the next week. I have to transition. I have all the prior week matchups memorized.
I mean, I'll say this: transitioning. Alexander Madison had a good game against the Lions, going up against Pittsburgh. But man, over the past couple of weeks, we saw Pittsburgh kind of get exploited a little bit on the run D against the Bengals. Joe Mixon did absolute wonders against them. And then last week, I'm playing against Devontae Freeman. I see him going up against Pittsburgh. I'm like, oh, no worries. Devontae Freeman eats this run D alive. So this Steelers defense is slipping at the run component of it. So I don't think Alexander Madison's a bad play here. The biggest
Thursday night too.
Yeah, and the thing that adds a little question marks to it is we saw this offense kind of get staggered back when Adam Thielen got hurt. So it definitely didn't have its same high octane feel to it, at least throughout the entire game. So I think that kind of hurts Madison, but maybe they also put a little bit more on him because they know the Steelers defense can create turnovers.
I like that play too. I agree with Madison. He's going to see the volume, especially with Adam Thielen out of this game. This is a big game for the Vikes, bro. They're still in the wild card or whatever it is,
Yeah.
wild card hunt. Pittsburgh, are they on the outside looking in? I can't remember. But
No. I mean, yeah, they're technically on the outside looking in, but like the AFC is so tight this year, man. It's crazy. I will say, when I look at the other guys in this options, Hunt's kind of the guy that I'm definitely throwing out, but guys like CEH, I think he's a good play against the Raiders here in a beautiful matchup because when you look at the other two guys, Aaron Jones, Henderson, those guys have the injury kind of question marks about them, especially Henderson, right? We saw Henderson get very limited work again in the game against the Jaguars. This is a much bigger game. They need their players, but how much does he get active? I don't know, right? And then Aaron Jones, dude, AJ Dillon's killing it right now, dude. Bears aren't the most beautiful matchup. I kind of like CH and James Conner here or Madison. It's just up to you. I don't know.
I like those picks as well. I do. All right, Mr. Matt J. Kim, what's up, fam? What's good? Real goated. Hey, Catch, I'm in the playoffs. Let's go, Real goated. Let's go. It's my starting lineup for this week. Lamar, Mooney, Elijah Moore, Aaron Jones, Zeke, Hawkinson, Robinson, Justin Tucker, and Seahawks defense. Is there anyone you think I should set? Not necessarily, but let me know or let us know who is on your bench there. And there might be one or two options here. Maybe even Lamar or Zeke. We can swap around here.
Elijah Moore's a bad man, dude. It's a bad.
I don't want to talk about him. All I can think about is how I didn't pick him up when I could have.
He's so good, dude. And you were talking all that smack about Zach Wilson.
Here's the nice thing, Zach Wilson decided I can throw the football to Elijah Moore.
Dude, he looked good, man. He looked good, all things considered. I in this defense video, we talked about streaming against the Jets again. Man, I think this is getting to the point now where Zach Wilson's kind of showing his chops a little bit over the past couple of weeks. So
week, let's not get too excited,
dude. I'm just saying this guy's got some raw skill. I'm a lover of him. This guy looks like he's 13.
He looks like he's
he looks like me. Yeah, he looks like me.
Yeah. I mean, Gardner Minshew looked okay too, bro.
He's so cool. Did you see him like fighting his dad in the parking lot because he was so hyped? He was like, oh.
Did you see his pregame outfit? I posted it.
Yeah, that was hype, dude.
That was the best quality picture out there because, it was just from a video. It was the only way you could get it. So
Gardner's the dude, man, and he looks so much better than Jalen Hurts.
Okay, that's a whole other debate. Phase 10 foil. Should I try to trade Jamar? It depends on what you can get out of it.
Bro, at this point,
you're going to have to sell him low is kind of the problem.
So in the comments last week coming into this last week's games, I was talking to somebody about a potential trade they were looking at, and they had Jamar Chase and Chuba Hubbard, and the other guy had Antonio Gibson and TJ Higgins or Tajee Higgins. For some reason, I'm forgetting the name right now. And he made the deal. So he got Higgins and Gibson, who blew up obviously this week, and gave up Jamar Chase, who's slumping. This is a point right now, like we just talked about with Jamar Chase, where I definitely think you can start exploring the trade options if the trade deadline hasn't passed in your leagues.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, guys. We're no longer like thinking long term. Like we're thinking week to week. Like, we're getting to that point where you don't win, you're out.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys know if you're in or you're out of the playoffs, but once week 15 starts, you lose, you're out. So I don't necessarily think that either of us think Jamar Chase has a ton of upside for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on that at the beginning of today's stream, right? I think we both really like Jamar Chase. I think he's a top 10 receiver next year.
I love him. I'm so glad to have him in our dynasty for next year. Getting him in the 9th. I mean, I love the dude.
We don't play dynasty.
You know what we do, baby.
We play keeper. It's very different.
Dude, just let me say dynasty because it sounds cooler.
They're two different things. Just want to make sure you understand so you don't confuse yourself. Mr. Matt J. Kim, what do you guys think about the Dallas defense versus Washington? Listen, this Dallas defensive unit's elite, man. From a real life perspective and from a fantasy perspective. I'll say this much. I'll let Steven talk as our official defensive expert. these NFC East games at the end of the year, man, they can get weird.
Yeah.
They can get real weird. But I think one of these two games gonna be a whole lot of Dallas. Maybe not offensively. Well, actually, I take that back because Washington's secondary is so bad. But I definitely think one of these two games, Dallas's defense is really going to show up. But I think overall, they're a great start. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one being in Washington, you would maybe think that, Washington can control more of this game, but the number 2 defense in all of football right now, fantasy-wise, I think they're a smash play again. You gotta do it. You just gotta stay in the flames. I mean, they were playing the Saints, and obviously the Saints were down some guys, but they got 17 fantasy points, obviously capitalized on a Taysom Hill, awfulness throwing the football, but, I mean, you gotta look at these guys as someone you ride with, the Patriots, you're typically riding with them. I think the Cowboys have proved that to you as well. And over the next 3 weeks, I mean, Washington, Giants, Washington. I think those are pretty favorable.
Oh yeah, they're a great team to finish out the season with.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill is still 20 fantasy points. Can you believe that?
Kind of. What's even funnier is that they just gave him another deal.
I think they should have used Simeon and Hill.
Simeon is the better player, like at the quarterback position. Like he just is.
Hill's meant to be a Swiss Army knife,
Yeah, like I actually think if Simeon was playing, call me crazy, but I actually think the Saints would have been more in that game at least against the Cowboys. I mean, the turnovers were huge for Taysom. He had what, 4 interceptions or something?
4, yeah. Harris is suspended 3 games for his DUI, so they're down another receiver.
Yeah, that was brutal. That guy was.
That's another team. That's another team I think is going to be in a complete rehaul.
Yeah,
or do you think Winston's the guy long term? I've heard people out there say it.
Let me just say, I mean, there's obviously the rumors about A-Rod going to Pittsburgh that's heating up really hot right now. But is there going to be any team that's in more of a market for A-Rod than any other team? I mean, they need something like that, dude, or this is just done. Like this little saga, this era could be done for a little bit. This could go complete rehaul.
Here's what I'll say about the A-Rod topic, right? Before we get too off topic, is that remember when Brady was leaving and people are like, it's this team or it's this team.
Yeah.
I feel like right now people are like, it's Pittsburgh or it's Denver or maybe it's the Saints. It's going to be a team we're not thinking, just like no one was thinking Tampa Bay.
And I will say that too. Like, I feel like Tom Brady is almost more predictable than a guy like A-Rod too. The only thing that's like because we knew with Tom, like he kind of wanted to get somewhere I feel like warmer, it's better for his body, and he wanted to go somewhere with flexibility. With A-Rod, I feel like it's like he wants that. I feel like he wants to be somewhere that's more supportive for the fact that like his wife's a entertainer on the West Coast. Like he doesn't want to be necessarily in Green Bay. Like, I don't know, speculating, but he is a guy that you can only speculate on. You never know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I forgot about San Fran in there too.
But. Yeah, San Fran, dude, I would not be surprised because Shanahan, after this season and how terribly they've managed the draft picks that they just did, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just took a Rams approach and traded a ton more draft picks.
Kels 22, how high are you guys on Hilliard? I think he's a great play this week.
I do too.
But I would consider him a flex play.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to have the game he did against New England.
I mean, he had a really good week the week before as well. Double-digit fantasy points his last 2 performances. I do think that Foreman's going to obviously eat into touches as well. The Jags are not good against the run, but they're not, they're not the worst team against the run, right? I think he'll have a good game, but don't start him just because he's playing Jacksonville. Don't start him over, I don't know, an RB2 type guy. But don't get me wrong, Sony Michel just decimated this team for over 100 rushing yards. I think he's going to have a good game, right? The Titans don't have a lot of options, but I do worry that Foreman's going to eat into some of those carries as well. Julio Jones can come back this week. I don't think that impacts things too crazily, but he's there. He's there. They at least have another option if he plays at the receiver position. But yeah, overall, I like Hilliard this week. He's worth the start for sure. Jason Kenobi let Zeke eat. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'd love to see it. We both love Zeke.
Kel's 22. He will play. If Brady wants him there, he is there. Yeah, I think that's true about Godwin or AB, whoever you're
Yeah.
referring to there, honestly. Melvin looking good, though. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Melvin, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Melvin Gordon's top 20 back this year. People thought he'd be an RB4. It's fair enough
Yeah.
that the committee approach has worked all year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Devontae Williams, let's go. Sport Talk 1000. Thank God for 40 per hour, whatever it is.
40 miles per hour.
Monday night, I won by less than 2 points. Had Dawson and Josh and Allen had Jacoby Myers and Devin Singletary. Holy cow.
That
Dude, I
disappointing
thought
game.
Dawson Knox was going to come down with that touchdown at the end, bro.
Dude, Dawson Knox is dropping some passes, man.
I told you guys, start Nick Folk with confidence last night. We had a lot of members of the Catch fam last night who had a lot riding on that game. I'm really interested to see what happened for you guys last night because all I said last night was I said two things, okay? You never know. You just never know with fantasy. Anything can happen, even in bad weather. And number two, I do think that in these tough conditions, this really important matchup, Josh Allen will be targeting Stephon Diggs and Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
He targeted both of them heavily. It turned out better for Stephon Diggs than it did Dawson Knox, but nonetheless, he targeted them. So, and wow, I should have tooted the horn for these Pats running backs just a little bit more, man. Because gosh, that game plan, genius by Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where we sit back and we say, yes, Brady is Brady, and he is responsible for a lot of that greatness. But I think Bill's right there and is responsible for a lot of that greatness as well. So,
I mean, the fact that we're seeing that just today it got shifted to the Super Bowl odds right now. Favorites are Pats Bucks Super Bowl. That's mind blowing to me, bro. And
be great.
The poll got put up. Who would you rather have, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones? You said the comment about, I think you love mac and cheese. You know what I mean?
I've been tooting mac and cheese all season long.
But there is like the thing to say here that I think Bill Belichick could have done it with any of these rookie quarterbacks outside of maybe Trey Lance. I mean, I think Mac Jones is perfect for the
that's
offense.
what I was going to say. Yeah.
But dude, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, I think that would have been better. Obviously, I think Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback, but man, I don't know, man. Bill Belichick's the real freaking deal, dude. But Damian Harris did get banged up in that game, so monitor that over the bye week.
Did you see Sean McDermott very angry? People were asking him in the press conference, like, about they're basically referring to it as a chess. I can't talk tonight.
He didn't get like smoked though in the chess match. I mean, it was just like, dude, it is what it is. Like Bill Belichick, like his team is just always better coached than anybody else, right? I still think Sean McDermott's one of the top coaches in the league.
Absolutely. He's one of my favorite coaches as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Bryant, what's going on, my dude? TJ or Pitts? Listen, man, TJ's got Denver. Pitts has got Carolina. These are both relatively tough matchups, right? Pitts.
You saw what Gilmore did to him last time. Shut him down.
Yeah, he's been disappointing, man. I would actually lean TJ here because I think that the Lions just I don't know what else they can do, right? Don't get me wrong, I don't know what else the Falcons can really do, right? I think this is a pretty even decision, but I'll lean TJ here.
Yeah, I mean, I lean TJ. If you look at the numbers, I mean, Pitts has been far more disappointing. I mean, Hawkinson had 8 targets last week against the Minnesota Vikings. 12, 11, and 8 are his last 3 games. He's got a brutal stretch here, obviously, to finish off the season, but it's the number 3 tight end in all of fantasy football here. So I definitely would smash TJ Hawkinson out of the 2.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, it's crazy, but he was one of those like top ranking guys. I will admit, I was a little bit of a hater of Hawkinson coming in. I slid him down, I think, to outside my top 5, but he's been impressive. The one thing that's always going in his favor is his target volume, and he's been able to stay healthy for the most part.
Yeah. Let's see here. DJ Moore, Hopkins, or McLaurin. I'm going to lean DJ Moore versus the Falcons, actually.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. All Hopkins has to do is break one, and he's capable of it, but he's going to be seeing a lot of Jalen Ramsey And then I do like McLaurin. Actually, Dallas's secondary hasn't been that great, but he should see a lot of digs as well.
Mhm.
I don't get me wrong. All McLaurin needs to do is break one, and he's actually been proving that he can do that as of late. But I'll look at his matchups and I'll say, just like we did last week, I told you guys, start any Tampa Bay Buccaneer receiver that you can. And look I mean, this Falcons secondary is just non-existent. I mean, you got to start DJ Moore this week,
What do you think about Hopkins against the Rams? Jalen Ramsey, just not that like who would you pick there, but what are your thoughts on him this week? Historically, Ramsey's always gotten the better of him. Rams defense this year is far more disappointing than they were expected to be. But where do you kind of look at him? Where would you kind of rank him? Is he going to be a top 12 receiver this week? I wouldn't say so, but he's always got the upside, right?
That's what I'm saying, right? That's the problem with these number one wide receivers is that they can always break one. That's what they're there to do, is to beat these number one corners, right? I'm not going to be surprised, but I don't know if I'd put him top 10, maybe top 12.
Yeah.
He didn't actually see a lot of volume last week coming off
He's got
an
that
injury.
snag.
Yeah, he got a great snag, right? And I thought he was going to have a much bigger game after he did that, but he really didn't do a whole lot after. But he also didn't really need to, right?
Yeah.
This game, he might need to. This might be a much, much closer game. This is an important game for both teams.
Very
All he's got to do is break one. Jalen has been kind of traveling this year. I mean, I just don't see how you sit down and you make a game plan and you say, okay, Jalen, you're not going to shadow Hopkins all game.
Well, bro, they've been doing that. Their DC
I know.
needs to get fired. Their defensive coordinator needs to get fired. Like, this is a joke.
Ramsey should be on the number one guy all game long.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but don't get me wrong. All Hopkins needs to do is make one play, and he has a good game. Overall, good.
Before we get to the next one, when we were talking about Hawkinson, I just started thinking about our preseason tight end rankings and how I had Kittle at number 2. He was god awful all year, right? Missed so many games. Coming off of a 35-point performance, this guy's number 4 on the year.
Yeah.
Bro, so how crazy is just the tight end position where a guy can miss basically the whole season and still be a top 4 player? And then 2, just how good is this guy? I mean, he's a dominant player.
He's another player who, if you're Kyle Shanahan, like, he should be a majority of your game plan every week, especially if Mitchell's out and Debo's out.
Yeah. If Debo was out this week, I have Kittle over any tight end, including Kelsey this week.
Yeah.
I just think he's everything for this offense.
Mr. Matt J. Kim, pick 2, Hunt, Dillon, Pollard, Williams, and or Swift, depending on who plays. If Swift plays, you got to start Swift. It's really close between Dillon and Pollard. Only Dillon. Is that crazy?
It's not. I mean, he's been seeing a heavy workload. I think my biggest concern with Dillon is that Jones came back early, right? So maybe his injury wasn't as bad as we thought. And now he's got the full bye week. I think this is a game where maybe, there's more Jones action. So I don't know. I would probably lean Tony Pollard here. And then I'm going Devontae Williams.
I think it's Jamal Williams.
Okay. Well, either way.
He's saying he's got Jamal Williams and Swift.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going Tony Pollard and then those 2.
I think I agree. I think I agree with that. Yeah. I will say this, though. I like Swift a lot more than I like Jamal Williams.
Yeah. There's a lot less confidence with Jamal Williams going up against that Denver front. That's a good point to make.
Yeah. I mean, Williams didn't have a good game last week at all.
No.
So I would start Swift if he plays. And I would start Pollard.
And Dillon. Yeah, I gotta change that. Yeah, it's Swift, Pollard, and Dillon.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Curly Wolf, hope y'all are doing good, staying safe. Hey, we appreciate that. Hope you are as well, my dude. How's everyone doing, man? How you guys doing out there? Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't done so already. If you're new to the channel and you're tuning in, make sure you hit that sub button down below. Become part of the Catch family tonight. Juan, MVS on primetime over Osborne. This week, I'll take Osborne.
What are your thoughts on MVS, though? He's been looking good. He's been looking good, man.
I'm not so
Nothing.
If you
What
are,
if he has another good game?
I don't trust him.
You'll never
It's
trust him.
crunch time.
You'll never trust
No,
him. You got trust issues, man. You got trust issues. Trust this man. He's got 3 names that are super long. I like it.
bro. Listen. It is a good matchup versus Chicago, but like, if you're not Devonte Adams, like I just don't trust you on the Packers offense because
It's fair.
the rest of these receivers are so inconsistent. It's just like the Chiefs, man. Like if you're not Hill or Kelsey, like I don't want anything to do with you. You know,
It's
like you
fair.
might go off,
Yeah.
but I don't know that you're going to go off on a weekly basis. And don't get me wrong, it is a good secondary. Like it could happen, or it's not a good secondary. It's a good matchup, but I just don't trust it. Like in these games where you guys got to win. Like I would take Osborne because I think the Vikings want to win
Yeah.
this game. Adam Thielen's out, right? Cook's out, right?
I think
It's a
Osborne's
bad
definitely the
secondary. Like
definitely think Osborne's better play.
I'll take Osborne here. Pray Kyler Murray or Dak in week 14. Woo, man,
Kyler
I'm
Murray
tempted.
for me.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
going to argue against that, but part of me is tempted to say Dak
Mhm.
because Washington has been so bad against fantasy quarterbacks. They've been a little bit better the past week or two, but nonetheless, I mean, once again, we're talking game script, right? This is a game that Dallas is going to want to come out and just lay it on them. I think that the Rams defense could keep this a little bit closer. Don't get me wrong, the Cardinals are going to want to come out and do whatever they can to beat the Rams as well. Part of me leans Dak here, actually.
That's
But
fine.
it's very, very close. If you start Kyler, I think you have a great day as well.
You know what? Let's put this up on the bet board between us two. I want to see who ends up finishing higher out of Dak Prescott and Kyler Murray because man, I'm right on the other side. I think Kyler's the guy here. 30 points against the Bears coming off of that rest period. Dude dominated going up against the Rams, who have not been as good as we thought. He had 22 points last time they played, but he wasn't even needed really the full game because they whooped their buns. But I like Kyler Murray a lot in this game.
Dude, you already sabotaged my fantasy season. Now you're trying to win a bet against me. Season's not even over, and you're already trying to beat me in something else. All right, fine. Steven has Kyler. I have Dak.
We'll throw up a poll too. Kyler Murray or Dak.
Sure. Who do you guys?
Let's see where the Catch fam lies on this.
I'll throw up the poll after the stream.
Yeah.
And you can join the dark side, which would actually be me because I like the dark side more. Or you can join the light side of the Force with Steven and Luke Skywalker over there.
Yeah.
Steven can't even name 3 Jedis. Okay.
Yoda.
There you go. That's one.
Right.
Okay, technically, gosh.
Who's the other one? Who's the new guy? Marriage Story.
No, Adam Driver is Kylo Ren. He was a Sith Lord. And I literally just said one.
Yeah.
The biggest one. No,
Kenobi.
man. No, but that is the third one. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man. All right, Anthony, what's up, guys? Need help? Start 3. Mixon, Madison, Najee, Monty, and Barkley. Ooh, you gotta start mixing, man.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta start mixing.
How did
Najee finish this past week? Because we had a lot of concern over Najee Harris from the Catch fam, and rightfully so. And I told you guys, I just don't know if we can bench him.
Points.
Yeah, okay. And
21 touches on the ground.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Very, very
5
quick.
through the air.
Very, very quick. I think it's Mixon and Najee. Ceilings are too high to bench those guys.
Yeah.
Then it's between Madison and Montgomery for me.
Dude, Montgomery, he bit us in the buns, dude. Once we say, all right, let's move on, this guy kills it, dude.
Here's how I phrased Montgomery last week.
So pissed.
If you have better options, you might want to consider them because Cardinals are good up front. If you don't, then just start him. Like the volume should be there theoretically. He had a very, very good week. I think he's back in action, but this is his toughest matchup left on the season.
I don't think it matters.
That's fair. That's fair, especially if Andy Dalton's the quarterback, because apparently he forgot. He kind of remembered how to throw, then he kind of forgot. No offense, I do like the Red Rifle quite a bit as a guy. If I ever met him, I'd shake his hand and take a selfie. But yeah, it's between Madison or Monty. after that for me.
Okay.
Barkley's out of the equation for me.
Yeah.
Kyle, would you pick up Osborne, Gage, A-Rob, and drop Tony? Already clinched playoffs just for depth. Osborne and Gage, yes. A-Rob, don't want anything to do with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just keep in mind, guys, if you're going after KJ Osborne, this is a short-term play. This is a 1 to 2 week play. You're not going to get a lot of value outside of that. So if you're in a really good position and you don't really need depth, you might want to consider a guy like Russell Gage, who's kind of primed to be the Falcons wide receiver 1 for the rest of the year, right?
And he's been good over the past few weeks, and we've seen Kyle Pitts struggle, but Russell Gage has done well from a fantasy perspective, being the number 1 guy. So I would take Russell Gage over Osborne.
Anthony also need to start 2 wide receivers: Hop, Higgins, Hollywood, and CPAT, who counts as a wide receiver.
CPAT.
You're starting CPAT.
Yeah.
And then I would lean Higgins as long as Burrow is healthy.
I don't know, man.
And then if not, I'll go Hollywood here. Or D-Hop. You can really, you got to make an argument.
I'm going to go D-Hop and CPAT. T. Higgins going to be great to stay in the flames with this guy, but off of that Joe Burrow injury, I'm not too sure what the Bengals are going to do. Like, I don't know if they run it more going up against the 49ers. And if they do pass it, like, obviously the game could easily turn to Jamar Chase. So I think I'd rather go with a guy like Hopkins. But I'd probably go CPAT, Hop, Higgins, Hollywood. Just haven't seen it from Hollywood yet over the past couple of weeks, and that's kind of corresponded with Lamar Jackson playing like trash.
And with your trade for Hollywood Brown.
Yeah. Wow, that went horrible. Hollywood Brown gone like this. Antonio Gibson is now like the best running back ever. What the hell? It's horrible.
Happens, man. Happens. Christian, who do I start this week? DK, D-Hop, or Higgins? Kind of a similar question here. Oh, DK, man.
Can you start DK? What did he do last week?
Not much.
What's
up with our boy DK, bro?
I'll tell you what's wrong with DK. Him and Russell Westland are just not on the same page anymore.
Dropped from wide receiver 5 to wide receiver 18.
Yeah, better follow that. Yeah, he had 8 points last week. Actually saw like a decent amount of targets too. 8 targets, 5 catches. Yeah, man, I'm off at DK Metcalf.
He still got 5 red zone
Houston
targets.
Now. He's got Houston.
He's still got 5 red zone targets over the past 4 weeks. Like, he just needs those scores, bro. He needs those scores.
I think you got to stay with DK here.
It is Houston. It is Houston.
Yeah, I think you got to stay with him.
The Seahawks need a win. They can't do it against Houston. Russell Wilson might just say, all right, who's looking for a quarterback, man? All right. JD, evening boys. Hashtag EAP. What is EAP? JD, what's EAP? I want to know now. Gage or Osborne, like we just discussed, right? If you need a short-term play, you need to win now. I think it's Osborne. If you need more of a long-term play, it's Gage.
Yep.
Nate, Hill, or Cousins? Ooh.
I think Taysom Hill, if he's fully active, fully ready to go for the game.
Yeah.
I don't know how you lean away from Taysom Hill's running volume going up against that Jets squad. Yeah, exactly. Going up against the Jets squad. I mean, running and Jets, those have been beautifully paired together for fantasy owners over the past few weeks.
Especially if you're in a win now situation, this offers higher upside.
Yeah.
And just think about what Garner Minshew just did to this squad, man.
Yeah.
Christian, start 2 this week. Aaron Jones, Montgomery, and Gibson.
Oh, that's brutal.
That's tough. That's really tough.
Can't bench Gibson, though. You just can't bench him.
No. Jones has the better matchup. Oh, it's really tough, man.
That's tough. Really tough. I mean, I want to lean Montgomery just because I know it's his backfield. And I'm not too sure what they're going to do with A.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the thing, right? With a guy like Aaron Jones, he can take one catch and take it all the way to the house.
A guy like Montgomery can see a lot of volume and take one to the house.
Yeah, you can.
It's really close there. Let us know where your headspace at, Christian. JD, also Pollard or CEH. So apparently this past Sunday, which I'm not mad about, CH had the stomach flu. I
No
think he would have.
excuses. No
I think
excuses.
apparently, who brought this up in last night's stream? He pooed his pants.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I have
That is
no credible
intense.
source for that. Who brought that
Yeah,
up
bro.
last
What
night?
kind of thing? What are you like checking his like? Are you checking his pants if they're
We
soiled, dude?
could be completely spreading false information here. I just want to clarify that.
Are
But
you getting your
I
dad pre-training right there where you're checking for soiled draws?
I think my main point actually is that I think he would have had a much better game if
Yeah.
he wasn't dealing with an illness. Listen, I think CH sees more volume here, but the thing with Pollard is like this man's trying to prove himself. Like when he gets the ball, he is thinking about is the end zone, right?
Mhm.
And all he needs to do is break one. He's done it the last 2 games,
I
right? I
take
mean,
CDH here.
given 2 games ago it was a kickoff return or punt return, whatever it was. But I think I agree. It's
Yeah.
CH. Say for floor CH, potential higher ceiling than Pollard. Adam, what's good? Who do you guys like more between Hilliard or Foreman? I've been saying Hilliard. I don't really have a reason why, but I just like Hilliard more. I think
I
he's
think
just looked better to me.
well, he's looked better on the ground, but the biggest thing why I think he's the guy is he's also the passing down work as
Yeah, yeah.
well, which gives him that floor. So, especially in this Titans offense, which is not going to always see a ton of touchdowns without their guy Derrick Henry and without AJ Brown there too. So I want Hilliard because he's going to be able to give you that safe floor, but he's also just a better running back all in all, I think.
Agreed. JD, thoughts on Panthers running back situation?
Sad.
Listen, this week, if you own Chuba, you can start him.
Yeah, you can play him.
After that, you can probably drop him, to be completely frank.
Mm-hmm.
They have the worst, maybe not the worst, but they have one of the worst remaining schedules for the rest of the year.
Let me ask you this, John. Chuba Hubbard or Tony Pollard?
Tony Pollard. All right, this week?
Yeah, just this week.
Chuba.
Chuba?
Yeah.
Chuba or let's see, CH?
I mean, the Falcons are like the 30th
Yeah.
or 31st worst team against the run.
I know.
I'll probably take Chuba there.
Okay. All right, so you're pretty high on him this week.
Yeah. But after that, like I said, you could probably drop him.
Yeah.
I'm kind of high on Cam too, but actually Cam's got some better matchups against some of these defenses.
I'm high on Cam this week.
I think he'll bounce back.
Yeah.
I've been keeping up with his YouTube channel. So Cam, if you're watching us, just hit that sub button.
Come on, Cam.
Yeah. Juke, John, Steven, what's up, Juke? I just realized my money league or playoff started this past week, and the way they have it set up is 2 games per round. Good thing is I put up 178. The other guy put up 108. Good week, bro.
Whoa, 178.
Yeah. That's big money.
Jeez.
Adam, did you see Sean McDermott after the game saying Bill shouldn't get much credit for the win? He's just salty he's been getting beaten for the last decades. I did see that. TS, what defense should I stream this week? Packers, Titans, Broncos. I like all these teams, but I'll let Steven answer. He's our expert.
I mean, I think we would both go with the Packers here. I think we both like the Pack going up against Chicago. Titans obviously have the Jaguars, but the Jags can do just enough sometimes to hold the defense at bay, and the Titans have definitely not been that attractive over the past couple weeks. So I'm not willing to just say, okay, let's throw in the Titans who have looked poor against the Jags just because it's the Jags, right? Mm-hmm. And then with the Broncos, I get it. It's a good defense going up against the Detroit Lions. But for the past couple weeks, people have been saying, let's stream against the Detroit Lions. And they have made the Chicago Bears defense look bad, and they've made the Minnesota Vikings defense look bad. So I think if you're going to look at this, I would say take the best defense. And that's by far the Green Bay Packers. I mentioned it in the defense video. If you haven't already taken a look, they might get Jair Alexander back. They might get Zadarius Smith this week. That's huge. That is massive for them. And this is already a really good defense. And Chicago Bears, I mean, we just saw what Andy Dalton did to those Arizona Cardinals, man. He's a pretty bad quarterback sometimes.
I agree. I will go Packers here. Sport Dog 1000. I picked the Minnesota defense because my defense, the Pats, are on bye week. Any defense you'd recommend for the playoffs? Hold on, the Pats. My recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Pats, Bills, Cowboys are the ones that I have the most confidence in on a weekly basis. I talked about it a little bit that I gave some warning about, how the Pats had a rough schedule and the bye week. But if they played well against the Bills, some of my concerns would go away a little bit. And man, the way they played against that Bills team, I get it. The weather conditions were definitely in a defense's favor, but they proved to me that you could definitely rely on them through the week or through a playoff stretch. And another defense out there too that's just getting hot at the right moments. And when coming off the bye week, they're going to have some nice games. Miami Dolphins as well.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Matt J. Kim, how would you rank these wide receivers? Hollywood Brown, I'm assuming that's Mike Williams, and DJ Moore. If it's this week, I'm going DJ Moore, Williams Brown.
What if Keenan Allen's present?
I'm still going Moore, Williams Brown.
Okay.
I'm a little low on Brown this week.
I'm going more Brown, Williams, unless Keenan Allen's out. And if Keenan Allen's out, I mean, even guys like Guyton become a potential play for me. So,
Sure.
Yeah, I would just monitor that closely. But for right now, I kind of lean DJ and Marquise Brown here.
Sure. All right. Taysom, Russell, or Burrow? I'll go Taysom than Burrow than Russ.
Yeah.
He's got Houston. Russell's got Houston. Listen. I told you guys, if Russell doesn't play well versus Washington, I don't think I can trust him the rest of the season, and I haven't honed away from that.
I'm actually going to go with Taysom, Russell, Burrow here, predominantly just because of the injury for Joe Burrow, but he's also going up against the 49ers defense, who is a pretty good unit. We've had a lot of, positive vibes towards them over the past month. Obviously, they lost against the Seahawks, but they didn't have a terrible game defensively. And I think this is a good unit again, right? And if Joe Burrow is hurt, I think they're going to run the ball as much as they can. I think Russell Wilson's got a great matchup against the Houston Texans. And from a fantasy perspective, yeah, he's not been great, but I'll take a chance on him again. And obviously, Taysom Hill, he's the guy that I would be playing here for sure.
Houston is number 10 against opposing quarterbacks.
Yeah,
game
but
script,
I mean,
man, game script.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at Carson Wentz last week against them. Yeah. Freaking John Taylor doing his thing. Even Deion Jackson got in the end zone in the ground game.
Chosen Rose, Arizona, Green Bay, or Seattle this week. I think we both say Green Bay.
Yeah. You know who I could easily see have a sneaky one here, though?
Mm-hmm.
Seattle.
Yeah. I think they are sneaky this week.
Arizona too, man. I mean, Arizona could take advantage of Matt Stafford with how bad they've been looking. That's another defense that I've got a lot of hope in going forward. I mean, when you talk about defenses to hold against, Week 15, the Arizona Cardinals have the Detroit Lions. That's something to maybe be looking ahead a week if you can.
Yeah. Chosen Rose, Conklin or Fearmouth? I'm going to lean Fearmouth here. Pittsburgh's
so good, dude. I love him.
Pittsburgh's pretty good against opposing wide receivers. Yeah. Opposing tight ends. He did have 9 targets last week, right? Thielen's out. It could definitely help Conklin. So you can think of it that way. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong. On the flip side, Minnesota's also pretty good against opposing tight ends as well. But I still lean Fearmouth here. But you can make the argument for either, and maybe Conklin is. If you got the conviction, I wouldn't talk you out of starting Conklin there.
Yeah.
To pick up Dustin Hopkins for Nick Folk this week. Here's my immediate thought: is that you can't drop Nick Folk.
Yeah.
Like you got to drop like your worst skill position player and pick up a kicker. Or if you're in the playoffs already. Like if you clinch the playoffs, maybe just don't start a kicker this week.
Dude, and it sounds crazy, but I was talking about it in a kicker video, which will drop after this. Dude, Nick Folk had a pretty bad game against the Bills. I mean, only 6 points, but he is still over 20 points ahead of the number 2 kicker on the season right now. I mean, this guy is more than a kicker right now, and he's been doing it all season long.
6 points in last night's conditions is exceptional.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
And don't get me wrong.
Was terrible.
He wasn't kicking against the wind like Bass was.
Because they were going for 2.
Yeah.
They didn't even kick the ball.
They kicked 1 field goal and he missed it.
Yeah, whatever. I'll give him a break.
Don't get me wrong. He was kicking against the wind while Folk wasn't. But still, conditions were not good,
Yeah.
and he didn't look concerned at all.
No.
At all. I'm dropping Christian Kirk and Tyler Higbee, Gage, Judy, Kirk, Josh Reynolds, Osborne. Keep. So I'm just trying to see here. I mean, I would go for Osborne and Gage.
Yeah.
Would be my
I
two.
think
I think Reynolds is okay.
Yeah. How do you feel about him?
He's fine. He technically, if I hadn't made that swap Sunday morning on the stream where I swapped Kendrick Bourne out for Josh Reynolds, I would have lost. My season would have been over. Don't know what made me decide to do that, but the volume's good. And on weeks where he scores, he's going to have very good stat lines. But I just don't know how often he's going to score. But he still saw 7 targets last week. Like, his volume's good. But he's still not my favorite receiver. I actually like him more than Amon-Ra St. Brown, though.
Yeah, I do too. I think the biggest takeaway from when these names that are presented here is that a guy like Jerry Jeudy, I'm very comfortable having on my waivers. I do not need this guy rostered on my team.
I don't need any Denver Broncos on my team.
Yeah.
I made that decision a couple weeks ago. You may have been surprised when I dropped Tim Patrick, who I've loved all season.
It's because you have an obsession for those guys.
Too much volume in that offense between 4 players. Yeah. Really 5 if you include Melvin Gordon. And it's not like the Buccaneers or the Cowboys or the Bills or the Cardinals where
they got Teddy Bridgewater throwing on the ball.
Yeah. Maybe next year we'll see someone else there.
Yeah.
Kyle, full PPR pick 2 running back, 2 receiver, 1 flex, Foreman, Hunt, Moss, Claypool, Higgins, Godwin, Hopkins. Thanks, cuties.
Yeah.
2 running backs. Give me Hunt and Foreman. Leave Moss out of the equation. 2 wide receivers. Higgins, Godwin, and a flex. I'll go Hopkins here.
Yeah, that's right where I'm at.
Yeah. E111, hey, what up? What's good, my dude? Man, in that big money standard league, I beat the stack team for a second time, 95-94. My comp for the playoff spot lost his 94-95. This week's outcome don't matter. I'm in. Woo! Let's go. Let's go, baby. Love to hear it.
Christian, this next comment hurts me.
Should I trade away Gibson for Hollywood Brown? Is that a joke?
So it's funny because I literally just did that 3 weeks ago, and that was like the worst decision of my fantasy season so far. Yeah. Don't do that, please. Don't do that.
I mean, it depends. If you're very stacked at running backs and you need a receiver, I mean, it could make some sense, but maybe trust Steven here. Chosen rows. Gage, MVS, Judy, Kirk, Reynolds, or Osborne. If you're in a long-term play, Gage. If you need to win right now, Osborne. I do think those are the 2 best options out of all those receivers, and I would put actually Reynolds next on there, and then probably MVS.
I like Kirk, man.
I liked him last week, and he really disappointed, so I'm just moving on from him.
Yeah, a little bias.
Yeah, I recommended him a lot last week, actually, and he didn't get involved at all. Christian. How about what do you think about Montgomery from Marquise Brown? Should I trade away? No, don't trade away Montgomery.
No.
I'm telling you guys, weeks 15 through 17, this is a player you want on your squad. Beautiful matchups, and the volume's going to be there.
Yeah.
Is Josh Allen going to bust this week?
I don't think so. I don't think so against the Bucs defense. I don't think so.
That's going to be a good game, man.
It's going to be a hell of a game. And I think this is going to be a game where Sean McDermott and the Bills, they get right. This is a must-win game for them, too. Where they're looking at the NFC it's a little bit less competitive when you're looking at the AFC. I mean, how tight it is right now in that race. The Bucs don't need to win this one. And meanwhile, on the other side, man, especially after that loss to the Pats, I think Josh Allen's going to get right in this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Jason, what's up, gang? What's good, bro? Spencer, all caps, Steven.
What's up, baby? Hey, we're seeing each other in the playoffs, I think. The first game of the playoffs in the Sleeper League. It's like the toilet bowl playoffs, as neither of us really made it. But
yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I'm actually very happy that I am not going to make the playoffs.
Shut up. No, you're not, dude. That's such bullcrap. If Jonathan says he's happy he didn't make it, dude, he literally texted me. He was like, dude, I'm not even
I did
watching.
not text. I don't even text Steven.
You texted me when we were playing each other, and you were like, "No, I didn't even watch." And then once it looked like you were gonna win, you started texting me, dude.
I actually have not been able to watch a lot of football on Sundays. Like I'm doing so many other things. Like it's always on, and it's on my phone. Like I have it on in the living room and on my phone. But I don't get to like sit down and watch it, until
Just
Sunday
enjoy.
night. But yes, I knew you were going to bring this up. The fact that as soon as I knew I was going to win, that I started texting you, and I texted your mom immediately too. And I said, "Good game." Jason, Chubb, Gage, or Hopkins for flex? Ooh, could you guys imagine in the preseason that you would be considering Russell Gage over Nick Chubb or Hopkins in the flex position?
That's fantasy football.
Whew, whew. I
I
just
gotta
want to
get
say I did make a video on Russell Gage a long time ago, in the preseason.
We loved
Uh,
Russell Gage.
we did actually. I
Yeah.
actually just forgot about that until
Yeah.
this like 3 seconds ago. Listen, man, this is tough. This is tough.
I lean Nick Chubb here.
I lean Nick Chubb here as well.
Yeah.
Don't give up on the Chubster.
Humphrey just lost on the Ravens. I get it. He's a DB, but that's a very important part of this defense. He's a solid tackler, too. I think Nick Chubb is going to have a good game against this Ravens defense. And we were also surprised when they first played each other and he wasn't used enough. And the Browns, for some reason, were throwing it more than they should have been. I think this week they take the right approach and they hand the ball off to Chubb a ton.
I go Chubb as well. Owen, what's up, man? What do you think about James Conner with Edmonds coming back? I don't care about Edmonds
at all.
Listen, even when he was healthy, once they got James Conner rolling, like he wasn't that crazy involved. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't healthy at the same time. Like he was playing through injury. I still don't care. Like, yes, on some like third downs and passing situations, you might see Edmonds in there now over Conner. It don't matter, man. They're gonna feed this guy. Okay?
Connor's a good pass catching back. That's what he proved.
He proved this last week. I mean, Chicago's pretty good up front. He didn't really have the best day running the football. He got involved in the passing game. That's where he scored as well.
Yeah.
He finally didn't have a rushing touchdown, but he scored through the air.
He did his dance where it goes like this, like,
yo,
it's sick. It's
talk about Odell Beckham's touchdown celebration.
Yeah, the self rev.
Shout out
Hey,
to Warzone.
I hate on him more than anybody, but he did look good. He was important for this offense.
Have you ever watched him play Warzone? He plays a lot in the offseason.
I know he's really into that, yeah, because he obviously doesn't spend any time with his team in the offseason.
He's actually not that good either. I do think that after watching that game, that Odell's actually going to be involved in this offense.
Super relevant. Yeah.
I think he is now a guy we can start to trust. I wasn't ready to trust him. I think he is now a player we can trust. Yeah. Sport Dog 1000, pick 2 for running backs, 1 for flex. PPR is Madison, Eckler, Dillon, or Pollard. No question about it. You're starting Eckler. Yeah, no doubt about it. Did I go Madison and Pollard here?
Yeah.
Gallup or Osborne? That's an interesting question. I would go Osborne. Oh, okay.
I like Gallup, dude.
I like him a lot too.
I like Gallup.
Yeah, going up against Washington, it's a phenomenal matchup. 9 targets last week. He looked much, much more involved than Amari Cooper was. He looked like the wide receiver 2 last week. Amari Cooper looked like a decoy.
I think he is a decoy at this point.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if this happens again.
I actually really like Gallup now that we talked about that out loud. I think they're both pretty even par starts, actually. But Washington secondary is not good, man.
But
not that Pittsburgh is. But
and here's another real quick question, John, because I know we talked about this a ton in the offseason because we both like Gallup a lot. But if you're the Cowboys, are you also maybe thinking about getting off of Cooper and signing Gallup if it makes financial sense for the squad? Because Gallup, to me, actually over the past couple of years has proved a hell of a lot more in terms of consistency and value for this offense than Cooper has. I get it when Cooper's fully healthy, he's one of the best receivers in the game, but he's just not there for the squad.
That's the thing. You have a veteran player like that just for his value when he is healthy.
Like, it costs so much more.
Sure. But I think that they have an understanding with a lot of these veteran players. Like, you're not always going to be healthy at certain positions, right? Don't get me wrong. Like, you're not wrong from a financial standpoint, and Gallup's...
Dude, Gallup is good as hell. And I think if he doesn't stay with Dallas and he leaves and goes somewhere else, this could be a guy that we take a shot on in the drafts next year, we will be talking about him a ton in the offseason because this is a guy that is going to be a stud for your squads, and you're going to get him so late because people aren't going to really be hip to this guy's value. But he is going to be a absolute stud when he gets the shot.
Steven dropped him in our league, by the way.
I did.
Sport Dog 1000, guys, hit the like button as least we can do, and it's free. Hey, appreciate that, Sport Dog.
Thank you,
Guys,
Sport
go
Dog.
ahead, smash that like button. Come on, let's try and get as many new viewers to the stream as possible. If you guys are new, make sure you hit that sub button down below. Become part of the Catch fam tonight. Appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Been a great stream so far, man.
Yeah.
JD, Gage, or Landry, rest of the season. Also, let's get the Poe book out. We're saving the Edgar Allan Poe reading for the off season.
Don't be too much.
Is it crazy to say Gage here?
It's not Landry? Crazy. I mean, I definitely I don't know how to feel about Landry or anybody that Baker Mayfield's throwing to right now. And I love Baker, don't get me wrong, but maybe he should just stick to commercials right now.
I'm worried about the Browns offense. Yeah. Like outside of the run game, I'm worried about this offense.
I mean, yeah, I can basically say they're not going to make the playoffs. I don't think that's a real question, but
disappointing, man.
Yeah, you know, in the grand scheme of things, how they handle Baker's contract going forward and how they handle some other contracts going forward, this could be a blessing for them in disguise. But just the fact that where this team is at right now, it's really disappointing.
Man, what's the problem in Cleveland? Is it Baker?
I don't think it's Baker necessarily. Okay. I don't think it's the coaching staff. I will say OBJ wasn't ever the right guy there. And Jarvis Landry is a good number 2, number 3, but he is not a number 1. And at this point in his career, I mean, with injuries and everything considered, he was barely a number 2. I mean, he's a great PPR option, but I mean, that's it. He's not like a guy that's really going to bring you deep or present any challenge to a secondary. And he's really been used as like kind of a flex type of option. Like he's like a Taysom Hill for them. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's playing quarterback for this Browns team.
I just keep replaying that play in my head where he's quarterback and he got destroyed from behind and fumbled.
Yeah.
Owen, this is an interesting question. Taysom or Rodgers? That's craziness. If you're in like a win now game, I'll say this: a safer floor with Rodgers, higher upside with Hill.
All right, let me bring up a couple things I'm looking at here. I need Taysom Hill fully healthy, right? Sure. If he's got any sort of issues, I'm a little bit more hesitant. And B, I need Alvin Kamara completely out of the game.
He might be.
Yeah. And C, I'm still leaning Aaron Rodgers. But I do understand the value in Taysom Hill, and I think he's going to have a really good game.
I think I'd go Rodgers as well.
Yeah.
Juke, our projections end this round with last week and this week combined. He's projected 2 or 3. I'm projected 291. At least it's going to be close.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I always like that those playoff settings where it's 2 games, right? I know not everyone does that. I think it's interesting. I've never done it, but I do like to see it. I know like one of my coworkers, his league does that. It's interesting. It gives you a shot. Like that's the nice thing. You're not just out. Like you have a shot. If you lose the first game.
Yeah, I mean, you could have had a guy, like let's say you get a player injured and it's like that's not your fault, totally out of your control, and it's like your whole week is done now. Like you lost the championship potentially because I don't know, your quarterback gets injured or crazy winds come out and Mac Jones has 2 passes, right? It's like things happen. So I do understand the merit to that.
Jerry, what's up, everyone? What's up, Jerry? Finals week has been keeping me away from the stream. I had to take a break to let my boiling frustration towards John cool off.
Dude, John's the worst, man.
He
is the worst.
Can't deny that. What's up, Jerry? Hope finals are going well for you, man. I don't know why you're mad at me, but I'm sorry. E111 also beat the stack team in Dynasty to time for first. Smashed in my league where I'm the commish 199.99 to 100. My CMC 0-5 comeback came to an end. I won't win the tiebreaker. Yikes. Yikes. Terry R. Cousins or Taysom? Terry, I'll probably go Taysom there.
Taysom.
Safer floor, Cousins, higher ceiling with Taysom. Chase, good game this week. John made a close matchup. I just lost straight up. Terry, Conklin or Fearmouth?
Fearmouth.
I'll go Fearmouth here as well. I'm not going to talk you out of Conklin, though, with Thielen out, but I'll still go Fearmouth, Terry. Chase, now going to lose to Jerry this week. Jerry, I should have taken last week more seriously. I saw you finally didn't finish as a top 3 on the week. I think your team was still quite good, though. E111, standard Muth or wait for Waller. Doesn't matter if we lose this one. Then I actually, if it's standard, I go Muth.
Yeah.
Kyle, Fear Muth. I'll go Muth again. Give me Muth again, man.
Broncos against the Lions.
Give me Fear Muth.
Okay.
On Thursday night. Patrick, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end. Fournette, Mixon, Patterson.
Ooh, wow,
Madison,
Fournette.
Chubb, Johnson, Debo, Keenan Allen, Jamar Chase, Gronk. Kittles is interesting because Debo might not play, Keenan might not play, but they both might play. 2 running backs for me, it's Fournette and Mixon. Then you have to flex Patterson, in my opinion. 2 wide receivers, Deontay Johnson for sure. Minnesota secondary is doo-doo. And then I would lean Debo Samuel if he plays. If he does not, I'd lean Keenan Allen if he does not play. It's between those 2. If they don't play, then you play Jamar Chase. 1 tight end. That's tough. Give me Kittle, though. You could play
I'm going
Gronk.
Kittle. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start here. Kittle.
Okay. Sorry.
And then I go Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb. So your 2 running backs, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb. Receivers, Deontay Johnson against that god-awful secondary. And then Debo, Keenan, obviously they both might be out. If Debo's healthy, you got to play him. Keenan Allen's healthy, you got to play him. So it's one of those 2. I lean Debo, obviously, more. And then flex, I would just say one of the 3 receivers, right? I think that's what I would do there.
I don't like Steven's picks. Let me reiterate my picks. I said Fournette, Mixon, and Patterson at the flex.
Actually, yeah, Fournette's got to be in the flex there.
Bro, you got it. Dude, Fournette, Mixon, Patterson, 2 receivers. You got to start Deontay because he's healthy. Then Debo or Keenan, whichever one plays. And then you start Kittle.
Okay, fine.
Dude, here's the thing, right?
You don't like Chubb this week, then? I do.
I do like him. I like Fournette, Mixon, and Patterson much more. I like Madison this week.
See, and I like Chubb and Mixon more than Fournette this week.
Dude, this Bills offense has not been good against the run.
I know. I get it. I know it hasn't.
Like, it's been bad. Like, I don't know what's happened. Bad.
I mean, I will say, like,
bad.
If somebody runs the ball like 30 times in you 2 weeks in a row, I mean, like, there's
Fournette
a reason.
Is balling, bro.
He is balling.
Steven's making me mad, guys.
It's just, dude, like Tom Brady just threw. I guess that does kind of.
He throws to Fournette.
He does, but I guess the point is I'm trying to say is it does kind of get to the point of how balanced this offense is because Tom Brady just threw 51 times against the Falcons. Now this week, do they run the ball 50 times? Probably, because last week they played Atlanta, bad secondary. This week they played the Bills, bad run D. So yeah, you're probably right. I think he's a good flex play. I'm less confident in Patterson this week, even though I still think he's probably gonna have a great game. But
you don't bench the pounder and cheese.
You don't bench the pounder and cheese.
All right,
I'll say
Patrick,
this:
I hope
the guy I have the least confidence in out of all these guys is Jamar Chase.
I agree. I was thinking of that the whole time.
Yeah,
kind of crazy. Kyle, start 2: Edmonds, Cooks, Ayuk, Odell. I would lean actually Cooks and Odell here.
Yeah, I mean, you really just even if Debo's out, like we just saw this Ayuk nonsense. It's just like I don't know what the hell that was. I mean, he finished with 7 points and a half PPR. All happened at the end. I will say this, right? At the very end of the game, because I was watching this very, very intensely, they drew up a play. It was like a pick slant, right? And Brandon Ayuk, it was designed for him, and the ball was about to go to him, and it was a penalty. And they had to restart the play, and that's where Jimmy Garoppolo got stopped at the line. And I was pissed off, man. I was pissed. So Brandon Ayuk could have actually finished the game like pretty well, but he didn't.
I'm gonna like 10 points, 8 points.
Yeah, but I'm going to go Brandon Cooks. I mean, going up against Seattle secondary, that's a tasty matchup. And Odell here, let's stay in the flames in a very hot contested battle against the Cardinals. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
I agree. Mr. Matt J. Kim, Greg the Leg, or the Bass Man? I can't answer this. I don't have the credentials here.
I'm going Bass, but I will say I'm going Bass because of the matchup predominantly. It's not going to be a shitty weather. But I will say Greg the Leg's on the must-start list, baby. And Tyler Bass is not. Now, a little bit of that has to do with rankings, but these guys are studs.
Owen trade Cup for Diggs, Moore, and Connor. Running backs are Zeke and streaming RB2. Wide receivers Cup, OBJ, and Shep.
I think he can.
That's good value for Cup.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a single trade this season where someone's been trading away Cup where we've been like, okay, do it. But I would do that trade.
I think. Go ahead.
Looking at the rest of your squad, if you're streaming an RB2, you get Connor plugged in, and you already got Zeke as your RB1 banged up. And looking at your next two options at receiver, hey, this helps your team, especially if you need to win right now, man. I mean, losing Cup hurts, but getting Diggs, Moore, and Connor is damn good value there.
Yeah, and I think also where we're at in the season right now, that matters a lot because you cannot win playoff games with one running back, especially one running back who is having serious injuries. You need to have some support there, and I think that's what James Conner is going to be able to give you. And those two receivers are going to be able to make up for Mr. Cup himself.
Mr. Cup himself. Jerry, John had the call to Ben Sanders. I trust him with my life. I started Minshew over Stafford. That costed me the win. That was pretty gangster. I got respect for that, Jerry. That was gangster. Chase at Jerry, at least I don't get you in the first round of the playoffs. Juke, John, are you going to make the playoffs? No, I'm not going to make the playoffs. No. I'm on a 6-game losing streak. Chase, should I bench Zeke for Pollard this week? Already out of the playoffs 4-9, but feeling like Zeke would be limited again. I would consider this. Yeah. This is going to be a really good week and an important week in terms of how we can read this situation. Big divisional game. Really big divisional game. Biggest game for Washington and Dallas on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, I need to start looking at defenses and kickers at Chase at Steven. Steven's got the hook up there, bro, every week.
I mean, he says the Bills and Bass have been disappointing. I totally understand that, Jerry. I guess where I'm at right now with the Bills defense, it's just like they've had some rough matchups. They've had some bad games, right? And it's not getting any easier this week, right? Going up against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and then they got the Pats coming up again. But it's just tough because you got the Buffalo Bills as one of the best defenses in football still statistically from a fantasy perspective. And Bass is tied to one of the best offenses in football. So I can understand trying to move on, but just know that those are consistent plays, right?
I agree. 101 Dozer, Higgins, Ayuk, Gallup, Judy, Need, Dose. I go Higgins and Gallup here.
Yeah.
Steven was trying to think of some debate, and he was
I couldn't do it. There was no debate there.
Chase Brown, remember my bad luck this season with my stacked team? I do. Just lost by 0.32 this week, and now 4-9 the second most points. Wow, in a 10-team league. Jeez, man.
It's insane.
Hey, at least I got to catch Fam League, bro.
Yeah.
Ronald, what's up, Ronald? Yo, I clinched playoff spot in all 3 leagues this week. That's because you're a total gangster, Ronald.
Let's go, Ronald.
Clap hand emojis for Ronald. Stober, 24, 7-game win streak, 8-5. Let's go, Stober.
7-game win streak. People are scared to play your squad.
Yeah. Juke, Steven, how confident are you with our Colts? Are we making the playoffs? If so, you think we make a run?
Let's just pull this up just for my love and support of those Colts. Let's see what our schedule's looking like, because I think we do make the playoffs, yes. But we have the bye, and then we got the Pats. I think we can beat this Pats team. I think we can beat them off the bye week.
I think you can, yeah.
You want to know who we play after that, though?
Is it
The Cardinals.
Oh, that's right. That's
But
right.
we have got the hardest schedule, dude. And then we've got the Raiders and the Jags.
Those are trap games too, bro.
Oh, dude, that's tough, bro.
You guys are on the outside looking in, right?
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah,
on, I'm
actually,
gonna try and
man. I'll say this, dude. Juke, I don't think we're going to make it. Because there's some other good teams that are ahead of us right now. Bengals, I think the Steelers are still above us technically in the mix. We're 6-6 right now. And going up against the Pats and the Cardinals, I mean, if we lose 8 games or even 7, it's going to be really tough. Like, we have to win these next 4 games. If we lose one, we're out.
Dude, I used to have like this thing I could find that just showed the whole playoff picture.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to find it in like a couple weeks.
Well,
The New England Patriots, guys, number 1.
yeah.
Steven, the Colts aren't in the picture at all right now.
No, we're in the mix. We're in the deep mix.
Outside looking in, yeah. It's
Yeah,
Pats, Titans, Ravens, Chiefs, Chargers, Bengals. Guess who's number 7? Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Woo!
Nuts. They're slipping.
All right, chat, let us know. Best team in the AFC right now. It's got to be the Patriots, right?
I really
listen
don't.
to this.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else there.
Outside looking in, you've got Pittsburgh 6-5-1.
Yeah,
that tie helps them. Colts 7-6, Raiders, Browns, Broncos 6-6. That's wild. NFC, we've got Cardinals, Packers, Bucks, Cowboys. Wild cards are Rams, Washington football team, and the Niners. And then on the outside looking in, 6-7 Eagles, 5-7 Vikings, Panthers, Falcons, Saints. The entire NFC South could potentially make the playoffs. That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. I hope Indy makes it.
At least the Colts, control their future, but I'll just say, like, it's gonna suck if a team like the Steelers make it and the Colts don't, because
I agree.
I really just don't think Ben has a chance, and I don't think the Steelers have a chance to get it done this year. But it is what it is.
I'd like to see Indy over Cincy.
Yeah.
But I'd rather see Cincy or Indy over Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, Cleveland, or definitely.
But those aren't even teams in the playoffs. Like, I actually think the teams that are in the playoffs right now are the right teams.
Well, the Bengals are in, so you got to swap.
No, yeah, the Bengals, yeah, but I'm saying like
so
the
if
Steelers.
If the Colts make it in, who would you like to see out? The Chargers, Bengals, or Bills, or Ravens, Titans, Chiefs, Pats?
Well, I don't want the Titans there. The fact that they're there blows my mind. But yeah, I guess not the Bengals.
Right, that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
but I do kind of like the Bengals too.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Chase Brown. Team is Allen, Zeke, Madison, Keenan Allen, Deontay, Pitts, Pollard, GD, CMC, Hubbard, CH, Ayuk, AJ Dillon, Hunt. Best 4-9 team ever.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a nice squad.
Simon for president. What's going on, my dude? Hey, Catch fam. Debating between OBJ, Renfro, and Metcalf for wide receiver 1 and 2. Thanks. I would go Renfro, Metcalf here. I think OBJ is a very solid flex play, though.
Yeah.
You can argue for him over Renfro if you'd like, but I think it's full PPR. You can play Renfro versus the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald, it's time of season for handcuffs and multiple defenses. Absolutely,
yeah, it is. It is getting to be around that time.
Yeah, it's that time. E111 Standard Dynasty Freeman, Chuba Hubbard, Van Jefferson are smoking. KJ Osborne just one. I go Chuba here. Oh wait, is it?
Yeah, it's Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, if it's just this week, I'm just clarifying because it's Dynasty.
Yeah.
That you're not asking like, okay, this is definitely just this week's play, E111, right?
Yeah.
If it's this week, it's just Chuba. It's Chuba. Time for president. Also, is Dylan a good start with AJ back from running backs or Henderson that may flex and start Dylan and Madison? I think it's okay. Just you have to tamper his ceiling overall.
Yeah, I
worries
agree
me.
totally.
Worries
I agree totally. I still think AJ Dillon is going to be a guy that's used a ton. And it wouldn't surprise me if AJ Dillon still actually outworked Aaron Jones.
Sure.
Why would, after what AJ Dillon did over the past couple weeks and how he's looked all year, why would you go away from him off the bye week? Like, this is the time to feed a guy like that.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
know.
it's like the same situation with Pollard and Zeke. Like save Jones's juice for the playoffs. Like you're good in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Feed the young guy, right?
Yeah.
Chase Brown. I think I've cursed CMC. Had him last season. Now this season, both seasons got
Oh
injured.
my gosh.
It's your fault, Chase.
That's
It's your
brutal,
fault.
dude.
Ronald says Renfro and DK for me. Saxophone Sunsets Media. What's going on, my dude? 14-team league with 1 game to go. My strongest wide receivers are Cooper and Mooney. Just lost Corey Davis. I also got Reynolds keeping, while Chenault, Jackson, A-Rob, and C. Wilson are on the bubble. One of these waivers, Osborne, St. Brown, Traquan Smith, Treadwell, and Carter. Can also grab situational deep dives with Guten Palmer from the Chargers, Grant Burt from the Bears. Which 2 of these 3 deep dives are worth it? For me, it's Osborne for this week for sure. Yeah. And then you can roll with St. Brown. I think you can drop A-Rod pretty confidently here. And then you get rid of Corey Davis as well. And then if you're going to take a deep dive, right, it's Guten or Palmer on the Chargers, especially if Allen doesn't play.
I think if Allen's gone, then Guyton definitely becomes a good play there.
I can figure out how to say his name.
I like how you, like for Dallas Goedert and people like that, you just go Yeeter.
Well, the Goddard thing's on purpose, like that.
Yeah,
that
now at this point, yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's definitely Osborne here. He's definitely the best receiver there, and also has the best volume going his way.
Yeah. Juke, I see us being the Patriots, but the Cardinals going to be iffy. I hate the way things are looking. Yeah. I hope they get in, man.
I will say this: I do trust Frank Reich, and if we can win those 2 games, man, I think this is going to be a team that nobody wants to see in the playoffs, and that's the thing about the Colts. Nobody wants to see Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines,
or that defense, bro.
Yeah, nobody
it's
wants
a
to
run
see that
game and defense team, man.
Yeah,
that's why I want to see them in the playoffs, because they do match up very well against some of these better teams.
It kind of X's out like some of those other squads that we're used to seeing, like those big high power offenses. The Colts play much more of a smash mouth game, which I love. I mean, I'm only going to say this, like the Colts Pats, that's going to be like a knocker, right? Mm-hmm. But I do think the problem is that eventually your quarterback does have to make a couple plays to win the game. And Mac Jones, I trust a hell of a lot more than I trust Carson Wentz right now. So
yeah,
that's going to be tough.
I'm just thinking of that conversation we just had about pronouncing names right. And do you remember like when we were in the mock draft phase of the channel, which will come back next season, but the guy who like came through and I kept saying Travis Etienne.
Oh yeah.
In a mock draft, and he came through and he comments Travis Etienne, damn it. So in case you guys are wondering, I got roasted.
Dude, like John got absolutely like it was like a kebab. Like he got lit.
I had just driven like 4.5 hours halfway to North Carolina. Like we're having problems checking into our hotel, my wife and I, my mother-in-law, and I looked down at my phone, and that's the only comment I got for the day. And I was like, man, I can't wait till I can look back at this and laugh, which now we can, of course. But also, like the other week, I think I told some of you guys about this. We had like someone find one of our 8-man mock drafts, and he just like got on there and just absolutely roasted me at like 4 a.m. for drafting Julio Jones in an 8-man mock draft.
That was hype, dude. That was so hype.
You live and you learn, guys. We really do appreciate our subscriber base as well. Ronald Jones will still get goal line though. That's true. I'm not gonna be surprised if they start to split that. Just
Jones has work, dude, and he is a beautiful handcuff. I mean, Ronald gets on a good point there.
It's just gonna be. I think we'll get a better read this week for not only the Packers but the Cowboys and how they utilize their running backs. You know. Jerry, is anyone looking forward to Spider-Man? I am. I was talking about that today with a coworker. I think I might actually go to the theaters for that one.
Are Zendaya and Tom Holland dating?
No, but
they're not. I thought they were.
Not
And he's
officially.
shorter than her, and so I put a lot of respect on him. I
Dude,
think
he
he's
is
really
a
cool.
freak athlete too.
Tom
Like
Holland?
that man, well, he's just incredibly gifted. Like
Freak athlete. Dude,
like
he's
when
Spider-Man. It's
yeah.
CGI, bro. He doesn't
No, no,
actually
no,
do
no,
that
no, no,
shit.
no. Look this up. When he did, this is why he got hired. When he did the first like reading to interview to be Spider-Man, he literally was doing like somersaults and backflips and pretending to be Spider-Man all over the room. And he like literally was bouncing off walls. And they were like, all right, we gotta
Would this
go with
guy
this
drink
kid.
like 5 Mountain Dews prior to the audition?
He's a beast. He's gonna be great
What a
in
wacko, dude.
Uncharted. Dude, Tom Holland's gangster. Come
I'm
on.
just saying, dude, what
Come
if you
on.
were just like hanging out with some guy and they were like, I'm Spider-Man?
I would respect it. Respect it. Yeah, Jerry, I'm super excited. Juke, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I think if we mess around and make the playoffs, we will make a deep run. The defense is finally coming around, and JT is crazy. I like this Indianapolis team a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget, they should have beat the Bills last year in the playoffs.
We should have. We should have.
Yeah. I think that was an awfully coached game, and some calls did not go you guys' way. But
Yeah.
go back and watch that tape. No reason why the Colts should have lost, other than
Yeah.
Steven roots for them, so they suck. Ronald, the new one is Westbrook Akina. Yeah, I don't even try. I just say Westbrook. I just say Nick Westbrook. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I never throw in his second last name. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
Yeah.
John,
Drew.
you want to take these next 15 minutes and just do some more just like debating and while we get comments like this one right here, we'll get into that too. But
Drew, Steven's trying to play you off, bro.
Dude.
Some of that, Drew.
Hell no, I'm not, dude. I told Drew to jump in, man. We're talking about the kickers. Drew, did you have a question on the kickers too? You need to check out that video, brother.
Start Demont or Chubb, already starting Najee and Madison.
I got Chubb.
Ooh.
You know I love the Chubb, sir.
You could really make an argument for either, Drew. It's really close.
What's your beef with Nick Chubb, bro? Huh? What's your beef?
I don't have beef. I just think Demont saw a really good amount of volume last week. And I think that Hunt's going to get some volume on top of Chubb. But I got no beef with Chubb. I love the Chubb story.
Okay.
You know that. But it's pretty close between those two for me.
Okay.
Ronald, I went to art school for 7 years. People would jump around like Spider-Man and much weirder on the reg. You at 11. Live and learn for sure. For this week only, if Mitchell is out, then Freeman, VJ, or KG. That same standard dynasty league. If Mitchell plays, you gotta start Mitchell. Wow, Freeman's kind of interesting here.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
he's been quietly good, yeah.
The fact that it's standard, I actually say Freeman here because Freeman has been playing very well and he gets touchdowns. Like that's just their guy in terms of their red zone bag. And he's also good, not even just in the red zone. Like he's a pretty good back for these Ravens.
Yeah, of course it makes me angry because of Lamar Jackson, but I actually think I agree that Freeman is low-key the player here. If it's PPR, half PPR, maybe consider VJ or KJ, but standard, I'll go Freeman.
Yeah.
E111, where are you drafting Devontae Williams next season? Is Gordon in a contract year or is he there next year?
No, I don't think he's here next year.
Then Williams is going to become one of those like David Montgomery, James Robinson picks that I had this past year where he'll probably slide into the later part of the second round. He's going to be a guy that I'll target all day long. Although I ain't going running back heavy next year, and I ain't going running back heavy ever again. But that's a different conversation.
I feel like the Broncos are going to want to bring on somebody else to complement a role like Gordon did, except maybe they take a 60-40 approach as opposed to a true 50-50. But I would take Devonte in the back half of the second or early third, but I would not be surprised if come mock draft time, Devontae Williams is a late first round pick. It just wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It also wouldn't surprise me if Antonio Gibson starts getting his name in there too. If he keeps doing this for the rest of the season, I could see a lot of people maybe grabbing him in the first.
Like a top 10 pick this last year, bro.
Antonio Gibson?
Yeah, it's 14 touchdowns last year. Yeah,
no, I know, but he was a second round pick, second or third round
beginning in the second round.
Yeah.
He was a top 10 running back easily.
I could see him get right back in there in the first round mix, which I don't
Sure.
agree with necessarily, but I don't know.
He's just
I don't
saying
know.
that because he traded him.
Yeah.
Freeman has slowly become a legit low end RB2. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Juke, I think he'll be a first rounder. I won't be surprised. I won't
Yeah.
be
It's
surprised.
really just going to depend on what the Broncos do in the offseason. And I think they're going to be one of the more active teams. I don't think, even if it's not Aaron Rodgers at QB next year, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is going to be their guy. So obviously that's going to change the dynamics of this passing game and this offense in general. But I don't think it's going to be anybody that's as good as Melvin Gordon that takes over for that RB2 role for them. So Javonte's going to get a big show. And man, this guy can show when he does get the rock, he's one of the best backs in the game.
Yeah. Gibson was early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was still right. Steven is wrong. E111, I was thinking a top 5. Imagine if Rodgers goes there too.
I can't take Javonte top 5. I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to have that value. Like he could obviously be that good, but I just don't think I'm right there yet.
Top 15, I could see.
Yeah.
If Rodgers goes there, does that help? Sure, but it's too speculative at this point in time. But I don't think I'll put him top 5 yet.
Yeah.
Juke Super Bowl contenders. Steven wanted to debate. Is this our debate, Steven?
Yeah, I think this is a good one because this year I really don't know. I mean, part of the fact that I talked about earlier how the Bucks Patriots, that is the Super Bowl favorite right now, and I think the sexiness of that game is not going to be what we get. I don't think we're going to get it. That's just what happens. You get these games that are too good to be true, and then the NFL does what the NFL does, and we just don't get those games. I will say on the NFC side of things, it's getting really hard to say that the Arizona Cardinals are not that team. Green Bay Packers, I think, are better than the Bucks at this point too. So yeah, I gotta say the Arizona Cardinals are going to be the Super Bowl representative on the NFC side, and then on the AFC, here's the deal: it comes down to who do you trust more in those playoff games, and you look at the Chiefs team who has been getting better, right? The defense looks better, the offense doesn't, right? They're still struggling. And I thought that they were going to get better. Then they play Denver and they still look sluggish. Patrick Mahomes is still not getting it done. I just don't trust this team yet, man. I really don't trust them to get it done against a team like the New England Patriots.
There's only 4 teams I trust in the NFC. And it's the 4 teams at the top, right? It's the Cardinals, Packers, Bucks, and Cowboys. I know it's kind of a boring answer.
Cowboys?
I trust the Cowboys.
I don't even know if they're going to win the division.
If they do, I trust them. I think their defense is good enough, and I think that's all that matters for me because I think the offense is good enough too. In the AFC, it's kind of interesting, right? I see 4 teams, and they're from not the same division, but 2 of the same divisions, right?
Yeah.
I see the Patriots or Bills, Chiefs or Chargers.
I don't trust the Chargers at all.
They're like my wild card team.
Yeah, I don't trust them like at all.
They're like my team that can make an upset, and no one's really expecting them because they're such a younger team, and their defense plays very well at times, but also kind of sucks. They're like my wild card team, man. I just kind of believe in them,
Who's your sleeper? First off, who do you think is going to win it?
I don't do
Chargers
that this early.
All I'm saying is this: you at least call the conference championship. I called the Pats and I called the Cardinals as being the representatives.
Yeah, I'll go with that too.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's close, man.
I do think when you look at the 2 best teams in the NFL, I really want to say it's the Cardinals and the Packers, though.
I like the Packers too.
I think they're just the 2 most complete teams. And one thing that's really going in the Packers side is they're starting to get healthy now. And if they can have Aaron Jones fully ready to go for the playoffs too, Which Alexander and Zadarius Smith come back. I mean, I can't overstate like how good that is for them. It's gonna be huge for them. And you've obviously still got A-Rod there. If they have the home field advantage, that's gonna be huge. I really think the team that is going to go out quicker than we think, and it's been the team I've been hitting the drum for all season long. It's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they're gonna lose quick.
Why is that?
Outside of the refs, doing what they always do with Tom, this team isn't that good anymore, in my opinion. Not
Defensively
good,
or
but they're not
offensively?
elite. Defensively, which matters. And I don't see the health coming back for them. Like the secondary, I don't know when it's going to get right. And I don't know. I mean, where are you at with them? Like, would you take them over a Cardinals team?
I mean, I can't argue against it. And that was the difference last year. Is the secondary wasn't good, but they played well enough.
No, they got fucking good towards the end, bro.
Right.
Yeah, they got really good.
The difference was their front seven was playing really, really well.
Yeah, like
they're not this year. They're not this year.
No.
So I'm fine with that argument. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's real. I'm really bad at like once it's playoff times, I don't know how to explain it. I just have a more clear sense in my head.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm also watching the games like more intensely and not from a fantasy perspective.
I will say this, we talked about my lack of belief in the Chargers. I don't believe in the Bills either this year.
That's fair.
Dude, they're about to be on the outside looking in
crazy.
In terms of playoffs, and they're now playing the Bucks. Like if they lose, they're out of the playoffs, right? So if they lose and another team wins here, so that's a problem, right, for a potential Super Bowl contender. So yeah, I really think the AFC. I mean, the Pats just might be in a position. I just don't see the Patriots winning the Super Bowl though with a rookie quarterback.
God, that would be insane if Mac and Cheese won a Super Bowl.
I don't know offhand if it's ever happened before for a rookie quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl. It's not been Roethlisberger. Somebody said that to me.
The youngest was Russell. Ben was the youngest, then Russell was, right?
Yeah, but,
was the next he wasn't a rookie though. They were rookies.
Has a rookie ever won it though?
Well, geez, it's almost like we don't have this thing called Google. Has a rookie quarterback ever won the Super Bowl? Nope.
That's what we're talking about here, and that matters, bro. It's not just impressive; it's also something to bet against. If it's never happened, that's a reason.
This fact is coming from an article about Mac Jones potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet against those things because statistically it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at on that. Like I do think they're the best team in the AFC, and I think they can beat the Chiefs. Because I do think it's going to be those two teams still. I still think it's going to be Chiefs and Pats.
Kurt Warner and Tom Brady both won a Super Bowl in their first years as starters for their team. That's the closest thing you've got there.
Yeah.
Rookies have gone to the Super Bowl. Dan Marino's gone to the Super Bowl as a rookie.
That's so nuts, dude.
But he got destroyed by Joe Montana. Yeah, that's about it. It's crazy.
It is.
I don't think that an AFC team's going to win it this year.
I don't either. I think it is going to be on the NFC side of things. Because when I look at what a lot of the AFC teams do successfully, I feel like the NFC top dogs can do a pretty good job of getting against them. Like I think they can kind of shut them down. It is kind of funny that we haven't mentioned once the Rams at all.
No, I don't trust them anymore.
Yeah, and I don't either. I'm not just saying that to kind of say what's your gauge on them. I have no confidence in these guys making a late season push.
I don't know what happened to this team because I loved them in the preseason.
So Mr. Matt J. Kim says,
John, go ahead.
Mr. Matt J. Kim says, John, don't give up on Lamar Jackson yet. Just got to believe he's going to turn it out around these last few games. I guarantee. From a fantasy perspective, you better hope so. But, that's another team in the playoff mix I think, John, you and I would say that we don't have the confidence in Lamar to win a clutch playoff game at this point, especially with how he's playing over the past couple games. But
He's
from both a
stressing.
fantasy perspective and real life football, I'm not there right now.
He's stressing me out, bro. Now, from a
Yeah,
real life perspective, like talking about the playoffs and everything, um, listen, the Ravens have had a lot not go their way this season.
terrible things have happened to the squad.
They've only lost 4 games, dude. Don't get me wrong, they've lost some important games and they lost in bad fashion at times, but Lamar Jackson is the heartbeat of this team, hands down. No doubt about it. But if he can't pull it together, then I really do worry about the Ravens, and obviously I worry about Lamar Jackson from a fantasy perspective. So
I'll say this too. I think this will be good for your fantasy owners of Lamar right here for this reason. They obviously lost Marcus Peters earlier in the season. They've had losses on the defensive side of the ball. Marlon Humphrey going down, I think that's the biggest loss they've had this year. And I think they're going to see that immediately. And I think this is going to be the beginning of the downfall for this Ravens team for the rest of the season. But that'll also be good for Lamar Jackson because that means this defense is going to be even worse. And that means more points for Lamar Jackson, probably. So that's my takeaway. Maybe I'm overreacting to this Humphrey injury, but I do think it's critical that you come in with your 2 starting corners who are 2 stud corners and they both go down.
yeah, it's a great point that Marcus Peters goes down in the season as well. It really, really hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
Because this Ravens defense isn't great right now.
No.
It's not going to be better without both of those guys down now. Juke says if Mac Jones wins Super Bowl, Patriots dynasty lives on, will be around for a long time, sadly. Bro, could you imagine if they held on to Cam Newton and just when Mac Jones and the team didn't look as good at the beginning of the season, it was just such a smart move to go and move on
Belichick's
from
too
Cam.
smart. Yeah, he's too smart.
Yeah, he's a good coach, man. He is.
Yeah, he's the best coach.
I would love to see Tampa Bay and New England, man. I mean, I know everyone would, but I just think it's too good to be true.
I want a Bill Belichick Funko Pop, dude.
I think they have those, but
I think really cool.
you can make you can make anyone into a Funko Pop technically. So
Can you make one of me?
yes, technically, but it just looks like a short white guy with weird hair and a hat
with a big head. It's perfect. I am a
Perfect.
Funko Pop. I am a
Yeah.
Funko Pop.
You're a walking Funko Pop. Yeah. Max Pizza Hut wings are fire.
Yes,
I haven't
they
had them
are.
in a long time. Yeah, actually,
I had it for fantasy draft night.
and I haven't had them in a really long time. But I do concur with this statement. Yes,
I had a full medium-sized pizza and a whole thing of wings from there.
whenever you decide to visit my town again, I've got a new eating spot that
Really?
is so good. I
What
cannot
is
wait to
it?
take you there.
What's the
It's,
cuisine?
It's like breakfast food, but they also have po'
Oh,
boys.
nice.
It's called Scratch Biscuit Company. They're only open like 7 till 2.
You know
And
it's good when they're only open for select hours.
yeah, dude, this place is phenomenal. It's all made from scratch, as the name.
Nice.
But anyways, we went there Monday. I had to get a shot, and then we went there, and they have a hot sauce that's local. It's called Satan's Snot, and it was so good, bro. It was so good.
That sounds tasty.
I can't wait to take you there because I finally have a spot that can be like this is a local good spot. Mr. Magic Kim, it's cool. He had IBS and mud butt. He's healthy now. CH, right? CH, right? Turkey Patty, what's up, guys? What's up, Turkey Patty?
What is up, Turkey Patty?
All right, Steven, are you bouncing? What's your game plan?
I'm gonna be signing off, but I'll be back on here tomorrow. We got the kicker video coming up tonight.
I actually dropped the kicker video already. It's good to go.
Yep, I see it. And so take a look at that. Ron the Goat, what is up? Satan Snot. Did you kill it? That sounds tasty.
It actually is it's great hot sauce. Pretty hot though, but it's a really good type of hot. So
I had 2 bowls of chili, and I can tell you right before I go to bed, I'm gonna stuff my mouth with just a little bowl of cheese and Doritos, and just kind of crush them up and eat them for some carbs.
no chili involved,
Literally, I'd have to warm it up, and that's way too much of a
Dude,
fiasco right now.
take 60 seconds and add the
Dude,
chili
you
in
know
there.
what? It's, like, really actually an ordeal, like, if you ever watch me microwave something,
I have.
you know, like, how people will microwave typical time, like, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I put it on for, like, 15 seconds or 14 seconds and just take it out because I get too impatient. So it's
Yeah.
it's quite frustrating to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
All
Jerry,
right.
bowl of chili and cheese before bed sounds like trouble. Let me tell you what, I've been trapped in this office with closed doors. It has been trouble. All right. Catch fam, I'm adios and out of here, and I will see you tomorrow.
I appreciate it, Steve. We'll talk to you tomorrow, dude.
All right, see you.
Bye. All right. Ron the Goat. What's going on, my dude? What's up, Ron? All right, guys. I'm going to stick around for about 20 minutes or so. CA Alex side, Mike Will to the moon. If Keenan's out, absolutely. If Debo and Gordon both come back, bench Saquon, Javonte, or Eli Mitchell, I would still bench Saquon out of those guys. Yeah, I would. Jerry and Patient Steven, absolutely. Wait, what? Nachos with nacho cheese Doritos? That sounds great. Yeah, I mean, actually, just taking Doritos and throwing cheese on them does actually sound quite good, I must admit. Juke says later, Steven. Yeah, so we had must start defenses drop yesterday by Steven, and must start kickers drop tonight. We actually got to drop it a little bit early. So make sure you guys go check out Steven's videos so far for the week. Go drop a like, go drop a comment. Really does help us out, guys. Say Oxide. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Jake Fromm is starting. Yeah. Certainly doesn't help that fantasy outlook. But also, I mean, I just think that you get more upside involved with both Williams and Mitchell. If Mitchell's healthy, right? Even if Debo plays, I still like Mitchell. And honestly, even if Gordon plays, I like Williams as well. So, all right, boys. I think we're in a mutt tourney. No, we lost. We lost. We were 3-0 and we lost. So let's see. Let's start up a mutt tourney. Why not? Play one game in the night with one game. Make sure you guys get anything that you need. Guys, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Make sure if you're new and you're tuned in that you do hit that sub button down below. Become part of the Catch Family Night. How's everyone doing, man? How you doing? Is Swift supposed to come back this week or next? I've heard he can come back this week, but realistically, it might wait until next week, unfortunately, for those of you who do own him and need him this week. How's everyone looking? I know most of you guys have told us, but how's everyone looking in terms of playoffs, at least in your primary league or, your two primary leagues? I know some of you guys play multiple leagues. How's everyone looking at this point? Yay, nay? I know most of you have already told us, but in case you haven't, just curious. All right, let's do a draft. We got 9 unopened packs. We don't deserve to open these packs until we win a championship, boys. Definitely have more coins than represented, but we can go ahead and waste some here. I don't like any of these picks. Let's go Matt Nagy. Why not? I don't think I like this playbook at all. We're probably going to change that at the end. Let's take Tyrann Mathieu. I hope it's the next week I play the biggest smack talker in the league and I want to destroy him. That is always the best feeling. I mean, I have to admit that Steven and I do have one of those in our leagues, and sometimes the season just turns into, can we just make sure he loses in the playoffs? Playing for a playoff spot against the Debo owner in my friend league. Yeah, I am playing for a playoff spot this week as well, and I need a couple other things to go my way, mainly because I lost last week when I should have won, and because Steven lost this week when I needed him to beat the team he was playing. But what are you going to do, guys? It's a tough world out here. 2021 fantasy football is not easy. It's not easy at all. I'm kind of scared of playoffs right now, boys. I'm kind of scared. Oh, I'm just kind of scared that I won't get in. Oh, they added Marshawn Lattimore into the mix, but we got to take Snead. He's too fast. Too fast to pass up. Let's take Sanders. I do like Raheem Mostert. He thinks his team is the greatest, but he has Cup. That's his entire team. Oh, they added some new cards. Melvin Gordon. Yeah, Juke, that sounds like the guy in our league who shall remain nameless, just in case. Ooh, I'm picking no lineman. Whoever wins out of the match basically makes it. Yeah, I've got a similar matchup this week, although there's a couple other factors. We have like 3 or 4 teams competing for the last 2 spots, which is always fun. But gosh, I lost not last week, but the 2 weeks before that, and I really needed just one of those victories, and I lost by slim margins, man. I mean, it's been a hard year of fantasy. Like it really, really has. Fantasy football might be the most stressful thing ever. It sure as hell is. Yeah, I'd have to admit. Yeah. My team probably went off next week, but basically disappointed me every other week. Yeah. That sounds like most of us this year. All right, we got to take Tyreek Hill. There's no way we're passing up on Tyreek. Buddha, we don't need. Vita Vea makes the most sense. Let's take Stephon Gilmore, though. Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, or Frank Wright. I actually don't like the Chiefs playbook at all. I'm going to take John Harbaugh and see what happens. All right, John, I got to go. Great chatting with you. I'll be back tomorrow. Hey, we appreciate you, Juke. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your night, my dude. Always appreciate you coming out. See, Oxide, 4-way tie at 6 and 7, 2-way tie at 5 and 8. My league. Jeez. Yeah, that's pretty similar to what we're at, but it's more 6 losses and 7 losses. Mr. Matt J. Kim, I got super lucky. I got in the playoffs 7 and 6. I'm 170 points ahead of everyone. So even if I lose, I slip down to the last seed. Let's go. Let's go, Mr. Matt J. Kim. Yeah, if I make it, it'll be as a 6-loss team. Unless I score like 0 points this week. Yeah, I am slightly behind in the points scored as well. Like I said, not this past week, but the 2 weeks before, man, I really, really needed one of those victories, and I just came up short, man. Fantasy ain't easy. All right, we're playing Taco Corporate. He's got a headset on. He's talking to me, bro. He's talking that smack. Yo, I like this team that we just put together. Our O-line is pretty weak. Our D-line's not great. Linebackers could be slightly improved, but our secondary is loaded. Our wide receivers are loaded. We got Justin Fields and we got Miles Sanders, so we can definitely rock with this team. Last night I was in the zone, boys. Then we choked in the final game. He's got Lamar Jackson, which is never something we want to see. Oh, I forgot I can take off this headset. Haha, Taco Corp. Whoa. Wow, my oh gosh, he's got Jonathan Taylor. Tyrann Mathieu just slipped. The league is the best Final Fantasy show. I've never actually watched it. I've always heard good things about it, but I've never watched it. But I've heard if you play fantasy, you have to watch it. Oh my gosh, I had connection issues at play. The league is best comedy fantasy show. Yeah. I was like, Final Fantasy, man. I mean, I'm all for Final Fantasy, Oh, come on. Oh my gosh, that was a bad play. He's smoking me. You'll have to check it out. Ronald says he misses it. Yeah, I still haven't watched it. I mean, I've heard it's great though. All right, I gotta make a stop on this man. He is just running through us. There's a decent play, almost. Oh my gosh. I gotta do something here. Miss Gurliff had an attempted billionaire scare last night during the game. Are you serious? No way, bro. Is everything good? I had a possum outside our house last night that I had to ward off. All jokes aside, that was kind of scary. I hope yours was not serious, though. Hope all was well, my dude. You had a possum outside our door last night, which was terrifying, I must admit. A good defensive start. I have a feeling this guy's going to go for it, though. Now he's taking the points. Yeah, that possum scared the snot out of me, boys. Yeah, it only had one eye. It was missing an eye. Just kind of terrifying. This guy's kicking a non-sider. That's a penalty. Or not. Oh, that was a good onside kick. We got to watch out for this guy. Let's go fullback dive, boys. Go fullback dive. Oh, yeah, we got O.J. Howard at fullback. Okay, kind of a bad play. Is that Ramsey? I think he's got Ramsey out here. Oh, gosh, I don't really like this playbook. What are we doing, John Harbaugh? All right, I mean, we got a loaded offensive squad. Good play. I mean, we got a lot of players to potentially. I mean, who you going to match up on? McLaurin, Hill, Allen, and Joku Lamb. I mean, like, who are you going to take a look at? I mean, I really just got to find the open player each play. And I really feel like just taking a ridiculous amount of receivers is one of the best things you can do in MUT. I might be wrong. She saw someone on our patio. By the time I was armed, they must have hecked off. Police took 4 minutes. Safe, but still in full sketch mode. That's unfortunate, man. I'm glad everything's good. Man. Definitely not a situation we want to see any members of the Catch fam in, my dude. Do you have an alarm system at your house? Good play, Njoku. Good play. I got to find a way to get Hill involved in this game. Or I guess Njoku. Oh my gosh, Njoku. Come on, bro. You got to catch that. Can I put... Is this a tight end only slot? Damn it. Dang it. All right, let's try and get a good pickup here. Oh, yeah, he's lurking, bro. New apartment came with an alarm system. I'm so thankful. New Xmas cameras and AR-15. Fair enough. Yeah, an alarm system is great, man. It really gives you peace of mind. And we have, oh gosh, which one do we have? Oh goodness, well, I can't remember the name of it. Simply Safe. And it works pretty well. It's not that expensive too. It's kind of the nice thing. Gosh, Hill's so disgusting in this game. Jeez. All right, this guy's kind of on to our playing style. We got to switch things up. Derek, salute the catch. What's good, Derek? What's up, my dude? Appreciate you coming out tonight, my guy. How are you doing, my guy? All right, 2-minute warning. I wouldn't mind taking some time off the clock, but I also feel like our best bet is to sling this thing around. I have Xfinity Home Security 100. Yeah, it's definitely worth the investment. Oh, good play there. Good play. Oh, we got out of bounds. We stopped the clock. It's not good. Man, I might dump this off to Sanders. Nope. Oh, I messed up there. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do something really stupid. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do something really stupid and go for it. Doing good, bro. 7-6 must-win week for me last week to make playoffs. I'm right there with you, homie. Right there with you. Oh, come on. That's pass interference. I should have taken those points. That was an awful decision. What does a handcuff situation mean in fantasy football? That would be like Aaron Jones is your starter and you know it, but you've got A.J. Dillon sitting around looking real tasty as well. Oh my gosh, how is that not a safety? Good play. Good play. Oh, I'm not playing smart against this guy at all, bro. I gotta think about what I'm doing here, boys. I gotta think about what I'm doing. I should take in those 3 points. You never don't take the points in MUT. So yeah, Jerry, I mean, basically your handcuff situation is there's a starter, and then you're just kind of looking at who's the RB2 in case the RB1 gets hurt. Does that make sense? In that stitch, A1 would be the handcuff to Dylan holding him back, right? Hey, I mean, you could argue that for sure, Mr. Curly Wolf. For sure. All right, let's see if he goes for it, or I think he's going to go for it, to be honest. Yeah, he's going for it. Damn it. I mean, if I can get this ball back, though, I'm in the exact same position I was just in. Dicer, what's up? What's good, my dude? Thanks for coming on tonight's stream. Hope you're doing fantastic, my guy. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Right back in this. Right back in this. Should be able to get those 3 points we gave up back. Oh, man, we got to find a way to get Hill involved. Yo, what is Njoku doing? I'm about to bench this man. I'm benching Njoku. Call me crazy. We're putting in OJ Howard. I mean, geez. I need Mixon so bad this week. 1,000 Hail Marys. That man pops up unscathed somehow. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be a good start this week. Oh, I didn't mean to juke all the way out of bounds. Jeez. Doing well, but nervous this week. 7-6, third place in my league. I was always 1 or 2. Hey, I'm in a very similar situation, my dude. I got to win this week. Got to win this week. But isn't that, in a weird way, it kind of makes it fun, I mean, it's tough when you've been on a winning, you've been a winner. Oh, gosh, I just threw a pick. Oh, gosh. Sorry, Dicer. Yeah, it definitely makes it. I suck at Madden. If you've been winning for a minute, man, it definitely makes it tough. But hey, as long as you got a shot to the ship, that's all that matters, my dude. That's all that matters. All right, I am choking big time this game, boys. Oh, what are we doing? You got to pick that. Can I tell you my team in a question? Of course. Absolutely. That's what we're here for, my dude. Oh, how do we drop that pick? Oh, gosh. Dude, everyone seems to be 7-6 this year. 9, 12, including me in our league, are 7-6. It's weird. It's just been a strange year of fantasy, bro. It really has been. Oh, I choked big time there. No, I didn't. Let's go. Fumble. Can we please? All I want is 3 points. Okay, all I want is 3 points, boys. All I want is 3 points. Oh, my gosh. Oh, no. Dance. Do your dance. I'm going to let him run out the clock. Okay, no, I'm not. Yo, we are choking hardcore. He's going to go for 2. Look at this man. Look at this man. He's going to run it straight in with Lamar, too. Oh, please take this to the house. How do we get tackled there? Man, if that O lineman's not like laying right there, we're good. All right, we get the ball after half, so we're in this game. Dude. If you can, Taco Corporate's a beast. I mean, he's kicking on-siders like they're nothing. Now he's going to run the football right up the gut. Just take the time off the clock. Take the time off the clock, man. Wow, that was close. Damn, my team is projected 150 in week 15. Let's go, Jerry. Because you're a beast, Jerry. Because you're a beast. All right, watch. He's gonna kick. He's gonna do an actual kickoff. No, he's not. Okay. So my team for this week: Brady, Tyreek, D Hop, Najee, Javonte, Kelsey, Kamara. If Kamara doesn't return, does it make sense to play Gronk as a flex versus Herbert, Moore, DK, Eckler, Madison, Hawkinson? Yes, it absolutely makes sense to flex Gronk. I mean, he's one of the few tight ends that you can flex with confidence, man. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. I mean, if you have other bench options that you're considering, let me know. But I think Gronk is absolutely fine there. Absolutely not a problem to. I mean, I actually think that your team looks pretty solid overall as well. Yeah, I wouldn't be stressing too much there, man. Too bad I'm on bye. Might risk it all just to play someone that week. Fair enough, Jerry. Yeah, your team is loaded, my dude. Dicer says, I envy you, Jerry. Jerry does have a good squad. Maybe Amari Cooper, Van Jefferson. I would lean Gronk over those two. Austin Eckler should smash the Giants. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I love your team. 12-team keeper league. Keep 2. Pretty good options. JJ, give up a second. Najee, second. CD, give up third. Swift, give up fourth. Ooh, that's a tough one. Cool, touchdown. Let's go. Dicer, thanks, dude. Absolutely, man. Let me know if you need anything else. Guys, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Make sure if you're new to the channel, hit that sub button down below. Become part of the Catch fam tonight. Ryan, that's so tough. I think we talked about this earlier in the week, right? Who you got to keep JJ, bro. Like I think JJ is just going to continue to be that guy. I think you have to keep Najee as well. Man, is it crazy to say CeeDee Lamb? Where's your headspace at, Ryan? Because you can argue this in a lot of different directions, man. Like the thing about giving up Swift is that he's got such good value. Like, you know, if you got him in the 4th round. Zero Destroyer, yo, what's up? Should I start Brady or Kyler? I like Kyler a lot this week. I mean, I don't dislike Brady at all, but I think Kyler does have the better matchup. But the Bills haven't been playing like outstanding lately. I would lean Brady with a safer floor, but Kyler with much, much more upside there. So I think I'll lean Kyler overall. Gronk, when healthy, is one of the most dominant red zone options in the NFL, however old or hated he is. Yeah, I don't disagree, man. Gronk is a tight end that we can flex every single week. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Oh, I messed that up big time, boys. I was right there, too. Zero Destroyer, thanks. Yeah, absolutely, my dude. Absolutely, guys. That's what the Catch fam is here for, bros. Absolutely. All right, this man's calling all kinds of audibles. He's going to do some... I knew he was going to do a quick slant. Taysom Hill gets me nervous, especially because I have Kamara. I like Taysom this week if you have to play him. Oh, you're just saying he makes you nervous because you have Kamara. Okay. Understandable. But if Kamara's healthy, like you just got to start the man. You got to start the man. Ooh, good play. Good play. Yeah, we did. I'm just so indecisive. I have 2 seconds in case. I just want to keep both Najee and JJ, but always nice to have 2 stellar backups. Yeah. Dude, I could just go back and forth on that all day, Ryan. I know I'm supposed to give you an answer. It's what I'm here for, but I'm leaning JJ and Najee. I think that's fine. I would lean JJ and Najee as well. As good as Swift and CDR. I think I completely agree with you. It's those late round picks that are going to make the most, man. You know, that's where you're going to make your money. It was a good game of Madden against my boy Taco Corporate right here, bro. Yeah, we've gotten some sacks this game. Take the points, bro. He's taking the points, he says. John, sorry for this, but we both know you're not making it in the Catch Fam playoffs. I know I'm not. You need to go over my team because I'm going to turn to you for my playoff picks. Oh my gosh, he missed that field goal. He missed that field goal, boys. Jerry, you know I'll help you out however I can, my guy. Keep Mitchell or Carter for next year. Mitchell. I love Carter, but I keep Mitchell, bro. Although if you're worried about injuries, Carter's been hurt. What am I saying? But Mitchell's had a lot of kind of strange injuries popping up left and right, feels like. JJ and Najee are solid gold. Yeah, I agree. Tons of upside, young players, all that good stuff right there. Our commish got JT in a trade while King Henry was healthy, then got Swift. Looked done, but now it's interesting. Jeez. Yeah, I could see at a point in the season that would have been terrifying. What about Mostert, or is he a free agent? I don't think he's healthy. Unfortunately. But for next year, oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I still think Mitchell or Carter because the Niners backfield is too inconsistent, man. Way too inconsistent to consider keepers there. I lost the championship in that big money league I always talk about 3 years in a row. 2 of those seasons, I had most points and best record and still lost to the weaker and weakest teams. I mean, that's the problem with fantasy playoffs, bro. It's like once you're out, you're out. You know? It gets you can have the best team all season long. I'm pretty notorious for having the most being one of the better teams regular season than just completely crapping out in the playoffs. How do you guys feel? How do you guys like Tyreek and Kelsey this week versus Vegas? I like both of them quite a bit. This is such a bad play. That was so lucky. You got so lucky, homie. Man, sometimes I just miss my playbook so bad. So bad. Trade Zeke for Jefferson? Yeah, Jerry, I would consider that for sure. Good play. All right. I know it's early AFF, but what's your draft order? Top 5 next year? JT, Derrick Henry. Some combination of Najee. It gets real dicey after that. You can make a lot of arguments after that. I mean, it's going to be 5 running backs for sure. All right, what is this man doing? They're calling me the Bills now. Hell yeah, I get Jefferson. Yeah, I like that trade for Jefferson quite a bit. This is such a bad game of Madden. Let's go. We have a shot, boys. Where there's a will, there's a way. Perfect way to end the stream. Some combination of Cook, Swift, Mixon, Eckler. Eckler's definitely top 5. Imagine staring down CMC next year and having to choose or pass. Oh boy, I'm passing for sure. No doubt about it in my mind. What just happened? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to quit. That was disgusting, bro. It did the throwaway motion. He just fumbled. Tyler, what's up, my dude? Jerry, is Cook done? E111, hey, you guys have a good one. Hey, appreciate you, E111. As a Cowboys fan and owner, both get JJ. I agree. Where will C-Mac go? That's a very interesting question, bro. He's got to be top 10. How do I message this guy? All right, now I'll quit. Are Cup and Debo in this conversation top 5? Top 10, top 12, yeah. I have to get CMC with my third pick to take him prob. I agree. At that point, you can't pass on him. Kind of like Saquon this past year, right? I denied Jefferson last week when he scored before. Wow. Before he scored 40. Dang, C-Mac, Cup, and Debo. All in the top 15. You might have to argue. C-Mac for sure. That was a really weird game of Madden. We're going to go in and wind down the stream, boys. We'll be back on tomorrow with Steven at 8 p.m. Appreciate all you guys coming out. Appreciate you guys' support. Another killer stream. Tonight was a blast with you guys, boys. Sorry to those of you who got in here a little bit towards the end here. I didn't mean to rush through you guys or anything like that, my guys. But just appreciate you guys. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Must start kickers dropped last night. Must start kickers dropped today. Tonight, I should say. Must start defenses dropped last night. Make sure you guys go check those out. Drop a like, drop a comment. It really does help us out. We'll be on tomorrow with Steven, 8 p.m. sharp. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload or stream. Discord link is in the description down below. Completely free. Connect with the community. Connect with the Catch fam there. I look forward to talking to everyone tomorrow. Just truly, truly can't express how much I appreciate you guys and our incredible subscriber base, aka the Catch fam. Got nothing else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch, and peace.